Following an especially intense race in the circuit of the Americas, we are back on Tuesday nights with the Integrity Octane Series as we head to America's premier short track Richmond Raceway. And this is yet another edition, and it's going to be the 7th edition of the Integrity Octane Series this year. As it stands, Seth Well going to be the top man on the board, Cody Smith going to be in second, and right now Nicholas Ward going to be just in the top three. As it is, 14 drivers have taken time lapse, and it's going to be Boomer Logan, the last of which at the moment he's going to be now sitting in the 15th spot. The number 984 machine dropping spots as we speak. And as we get this one started, I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast. I am David Kreutz. I hope you enjoy tonight's presentation as we're just getting things started here for the 3/4 mile circuit in Richmond, Virginia. And it looks like it's going to be Boomer Logan going down to the inside line there. It's going to be Carson Bechtel on the track. He's 13th on the morning in these qualifying standings at the moment of need, and now he's going to be able to go up into 9th as Jonas makes his way into 15th. The number 15 machine is in that top 15 here in qualifying thus far. A few drivers going to be on their way so far. It's going to be Alan Dobbs entering his first time lap, now exiting it. He's going to be able to put himself up into 15th on lap number 1. Has one more in the books to get himself into perhaps a higher spot. That remains to be seen. It's going to be Brad Patton now around for his first lap. 22.487 for him takes him up into the 7th spot. It's going to actually be recalculated to a 22.47 overall, so a very quick lap nonetheless. Nice work for the man in that number 1 machine. Going to be Jonas in 17th now. Cody Griffin on the way for the first time shortly as Stephen Wetton is going to be done on that final run. Tom Wetmore goes to 17th as it's going to be Stephen Wetton going to 16th, dropping Wetmore down to position number 18 in that number 51 machine. Now he's been a competitor all season long, winning at Gateway, so one of those guys you want to look out for. Tom Wetmore is just getting his feet wet here in Richmond, gets into the wall there, and that might disqualify his lap from timing and scoring, and that it does. Cody Griffin at the number 3 machine going to be on his way right now. So is Sam Nito in that number 2 machine. Jay Haishman looks to have been completing a first lap before his incident. It looks like he's down on pit road as a result. Kevin Matz going to be on the way in the number 50 himself. And Matz, as always, seems to qualify later in the session and further back in the field, but charging through the field. That is the way Kevin Matz does it. And right now, first lap is going to be on its way. Not in the books just yet. The number 50 machine still has a bit more time to get himself to timed laps to put himself on the board here in Richmond. 7th round of the season. The championship battle is in full swing, and we'll keep an eye on that as the night goes on. Matt's going to be done with his first lap. That puts him up into position. It looks like number 24 if it is counted, but it's not going to be counted, and he's going to have to go for one more time around at 30 seconds on the board, rounding the back straightaway this time by. And now the number 50 machine in a bit of trouble when it comes to time. Going to smoke the brakes up just a bit, lock him up, and going to be on his way once more. Number 50 machine down to the stripe, and that will be a 23.021 22nd best on the board. Jay Haishman is down on pit road. The rest of the drivers have either taken a lap or have not taken a lap. Jonas getting extra practice time. He'll get 5 minutes more as practice is going to be on its way once again, qualifying over. And Seth Well, the man at the top of the board as we head to warm up momentarily live on FTN. Seth Well takes pole position here from Richmond, and we have 5 minutes of warm up before we get the show on the road. So before we do get the show on the road, we're going to have your starting grid on the screen in just a moment here as we see Nick Tarbuck now is on the track and drivers getting ready. One last time, Tarbuck going to put it right into the outside of the pit wall there. So not the best start to his warm up, but there is of course a 5-minute window here to get your feet wet and perhaps make any final changes on the night. Let's get our starting grid on this screen in just a moment. The number 4 machine certainly looking to climb through the field as the number 88 gets the pole, and he's going to be able to finish this qualifying session off right where he finished in the race at the Circuit of the Americas, and might be able to start exactly where he finished then as well. Let's go right into it. Without further ado, this is your starting grid for the 7th round of the season here in the Integrity Octane season, and it's going to be the Integrity Octane Series let off this time by Seth Well, a 22.223 for the man on the pole position with Sam Nito right beside him with a 22.316. And third on the board is going to be Cody Smith, 22.401 there. Nicholas Ward going to be right beside him with a 22.428 in fourth. Alan Dobbs going to be fifth in the 05 machine, going to be a 22.434 with Ross Cato only a thousandth of a second behind him. It's going to be a 22.243 for no driver just yet, but it's going to be a 22.435 when you talk about the second end of decimals. Ross Cato puts a 6 on the board, and Colin Gidman takes it with a 22.464. 04 machine in 7th, right beside Jacob Fife. Outside row number 8, Jacob Fife is, and he has a 22.468 to get himself right there. Going to be Brad Patton padding out that top 10. He's going to be 9th right now, 22.47 with Nick Tarbuck 4,000ths back in the number 4 machine. He's going to have a 22.474 to get through qualifying here in Richmond. From there on out, it's going to be 11th, Trevor Trago, 22.481. Cody Griffin going to be 12th with a 22.514. And Carson Bechtel in 13th has a 22.536. It's going to be Boomer Logan then 14th on the board, 22.573 for him. Alan Rowell rounds out your top 15, 22.614 for the man in the 43 as Joe Yakes takes it inside the Sweet 16 outside row number 8. It's going to be Joe Yakes, 22.618. Then it's going to be Bobby Ross with a 44 machine put in the 17th spot, 22.621 on his end. Stephen Wetton going to be 18th, and it's going to be a 22.653 for him as James Ross takes it into 19th in that number 19 machine, 22.661 for him as Tom Wentmore rounds out your top 20 with a 22.73 flat. From there now, it's going to be Chris Schetzer in the 21st spot. Then it's going to be Kevin Matz in the 22nd position. It's going to be Mott Jonas 23rd, John Steele in 24th, and Kyle Cooper with a 23.57 rounds out the top 25 as outside row number 13 is going to be Guillermo Alvarez with a 24.34 on the drivers have not taken the time lap just yet. Jay Haishman, the 06 machine, then Stan Carlson, the number 82 machine, returning after a few weeks of absence. Ryan Farrell and Chad Dillon in 30th, and that will round out your 30-car grid for round 7 of the Integrity Octane Series season here in Richmond. And as we get into it, we still have about a minute or so before the drivers head to their cars one final time and fire up the engines like you never seen before. 200 laps here in Richmond comes out to about 150 miles worth of racing, and all this racing action is going to be an enduring event for any driver. You're going to have to come out on top with some strategy, some wit, and some speed as well. It is all about being a balanced driver and a balanced racer here in Richmond, and it's one of the unique short tracks because it does not have all too much banking like a very short track like Southern National, but it does have some banking and a much longer shape, an elongated shape with a shorter distance. So a certainly unique track Richmond has always been. And right now, Sam Nito, 71 thousandths up on the remainder of the field here in warm-up with 54 seconds remaining. Time is of the essence here in Wetmore. Right now going to be third. Brad Patton, of course, is there in second, but Sam Nito to be the fastest man here in second. Practice making something click late in the going. Better to find it out late than to find it out never. And right now, Sam Nito exemplifies just that belief. The number 2 machine going to be top man on the board with half a minute remaining here as a smoke show he passes by down the back. The number 2 machine has his old Smoky sponsorship as he goes right through the old smoke on the back stretch, and avoiding incident, it's going to be crucial as well. Short tracks known for tempers and aggressive driving, and you want to avoid all that when you're out in front. Want to play it nice and smooth. Consistency is always key, and with 9 seconds on the board, it's all but confirmed as it stands. Sam Nito going to be the fastest man in second practice as we head into the race here and now. Time to grab a gear and get our driver on to their pace lap as Nito leads the way in warm-up. And now Sam Nito done with his warm-up laps. Let's get on to your starting grid. Every driver going to be despawned from the circuit one more time, and then they stay until the checkered flag falls. That is the hope for every driver trying to make it to that checkered flag. As you can see, Sam Nito right now on the grid. More and more drivers are showing up. That's going to be Cody Smith in the 3rd spot, but Seth Well has now entered the party, and you can see every driver lined up nice and smooth, getting ready to get this one started all in an orderly fashion. And the order, well, it goes as follows in the top 10. The 82, then the 2, then the 18 machine to Cody Smith. And Nicholas Ward there in 4th with Alan Dobbs rounding out your top 5, a great group of especially competitive drivers, and once again they'll be able to show these drivers up front and down through the back why they are those who compete up front night after night, week after week, live on Tuesday nights, the Integrity Octane Series, and it's gonna all get lit up here. And now, Richmond, 200 laps of it racing, and it's going to be the 7th round of the season out of 30. We are still very early into this season, but about now, these drivers are going to have to hit the gas, hit that loud pedal, and get the momentum going, as it looks like drivers have grabbed the gear already. The iRacing official pace car on its way. We're going to be good to go this time around. And as a few drivers in the back going to get a bit crunched up, you can see every driver getting through their pace lap. On iRacing short tracks, you have one extra pace lap before you go green. So Seth Well has extra time, as well as the remainder of the field, of course, to have the tires get a bit warmer. Have, of course, yourself get acclimated to the car in this state. Now, for a good majority of these guys, they got some clean open air runs. Not a lot of guys around them, not a lot of battling to do. But this will be a change of pace, almost polar opposites, as you have to deal with not only drivers on other lines, but other drivers trying to take your line. And whether or not you concede, you consolidate, or you hold on and don't give them an inch, well, it's all up to you, and it's all up to Seth Well right now. He's the man out in front of everyone, and he'll see whether or not this turns into a race of attrition or a race of strategy, and whether or not that becomes the advantage. We, of course, we'll see. One lap to go under pacing before the show gets on the road, and it is the 88 machine, Seth Well, who got it done in Austin, Texas, looking to make it happen in the Southeast this time around in Richmond, Virginia. The 3/4 mile circuit used the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and a multitude of other series in times past. Indycar, ARCA, the trucks, what have you, an iconic track, and tonight we say hello to it in the Integrity Octane Series for 2023. Going to be a sea of drivers. 33 now in session, getting ready to get it going as they dive down to the inside line. The pace car makes the hardest turn, and it'll be Seth Well taking the first left into turn number 1. Green flags on the way from the 7th round of the season here in Richmond. And a big breather for Seth Well. He gets a major jump on that start. The 88 machine now sees that Sam Nito and Cody Smith fight side by side there for second. Nicholas Ward going to be, of course, in that 4th spot. Alan Doms right there, position number 6. So as it stands, the struggle is just outside the leading pack. As you can see now, side by side, Jacob Fife is going to be with Trevor Drago, and they're getting real bounced up here. Let's take a look on board with the man in that number 59 machine, Carson Bechtel. The battle is double file just inside the top 10 and just outside it as well. Jacob Fife on that border as it stands at 9th. Nick Tarbuck going to be in 10th, right in front of Colin Goodman. Riding on board with the number 59 machine of Bechtel right now. Cody Griffin right there to his outside line, and almost clear Cody Griffin is, but no cigar that time by the 59 machine. Going to fall back big. And now let's look on board with the Colin Goodman machine and see that the battle behind is as interesting as that. Up front, Tom Wetmore going to be almost 3 right there with Alan Rawa, and Joe Yates at the 04 machine rounds the back once again, and now in a bit less jeopardy of being passed. Cody Griffin though going to be able to go to the outside line, tries to make that momentum work. That time by no, might be a crossover. Griffin gets a really good jump off the exit. Will it be good enough to go down to the inside? And that it is. They're going to be side by side that time around. The number 3 machine right there in your frame. And the solid white number 3 going to be right there. And he's going to be, of course, excited and might just have a bit of glee in it as he really thinks he gets that spot. But no, it's going to be Tarbuck now having a dive from the 04 machine. Colin Goodman getting closer and closer, and you can't see that 04 machine is becoming a force to be reckoned with here as he stays just inside the battle for the top 10. Nick Tarbuck now going to be a bit of danger as Jacob Fife holds on to this battle. He's currently going to be 8th on the board thus far. Jacob Fife is the 36 machine, chases down Trevor Drago there in the number 37. And as they round the final corner, once again, our race 7 laps in, it's going to be Sam Nito out in front, chasing his first lap machine in Chris Schetzler. And Schetzler 1 lap down as is. He's currently going to be 1 down. It looks like he started from pit road and getting himself back on the move a bit late. The number 24 machine has an awful lot of time to make up as right now Chad Dillon, the last man on the lead lap, is 8 seconds back on your leader. The number 2 machine holds on out in front with Sethwell there in second, and the top 3 now going to be separated by about a half second's worth. Sethwell got a great jump, but it looks like he's been able to concede 1 spot and 1 spot only. Now that's going to be a major advantage to Sam Nito as the run goes on, and it looks like so far a good majority of this pack has been playing it nice and cool. Not a lot of aggression just yet. Boomer Logan, though, going to be side by side with Alan Rowell that time by as they come down the back. The 94 goes with the 43, and now Logan fighting to keep on a grip on the 17th spot. He has that grip for now. Not going to be permanent, of course. The checkered flag has not fallen, but it looks like for now he's going to be able to take it right back. Nice and smooth move for the 94 machine, who keeps himself there in position number 17. Bobby Ross going to be right in front of him in that 16th spot. Carson Bechtel going to be in 15th. Joe Yates there in 14th as they're side by side. Tarbuck and Alan Dobbs 10 laps in out of 200. Jacob Fife going to be there in 8th. And Trevor Trago is going to be in 7th. Colin Dimon going to blink just a bit in the back of that pack, but the top 10 battle rages on, and it persists with Tarbuck down to the inside line, and Alan Dobbs still there up high. They've been dead even lap after lap, side by side. They've continued to be, and if we look at a close-up drone shot, that 05 machine of Dobbs is running that higher seam, about to groove up with the man in that number 4 machine, and it looks like it's been able to work so far. Whether or not it will stay that way, of course, it is not final. The track might develop in the favor of one man or another, and it right now seems like it's just about dead even, as it has been all night long thus far. The 05 machine going to be right there with the forward. It's going to be Cody Griffin right behind the both of them, and right now Cody Griffin is on the hunt. He sees they get side by side, almost touched there. We'll see what Cody Griffin does in the close-up shot once again. That time by, he's going to be able to stay with Alan Dobbs, doing just a bit of shunting when it comes to air momentum, and that is going to be the big aerodynamic push he needed. Griffin going to be able to get that man almost out in front of Tarbuck. Not going to work just yet, and look who's in this battle now. It's going to be Tom Wetmore getting his feet wet. He's going to be in 12th on the board so far, and now that number 51 machine looking to sneak his way into the top 10 if he can get right by this very intense battle and slyly pass through this field, including the number 3, the number 4, and the 05 as they all battle to survive in the top 10. And 15 laps in out of 200. The man at the top of the board is going to be Colin Gibbon. No, it's going to be one man spinning. Colin Gibbon down around. Leader is still, of course, out in front, but it's going to be caution number 1 for Colin Gibbon there in the 04 machine spinning. And we'll find out just why that came to be. The number 04 machine in trouble very early on. And that's going to be yellow flag number 1 here in Richmond. That's going to be John Steele, but Colin Gibbon by that point already going to be sideways, and it looks to have been involving himself and Bobby Ross. They both going to the same real estate on the track, and Gibbon loses it there. Safety yellow, thankfully nobody's going to hit him, but 15 in out of 200. The yellow flag falls nonetheless, and the 04 machine will have to wait to get up front another lap, maybe another day. It looks like not a lot of damage. He might be able to battle on, but the 04 machine taken out of a solid top 15 spot for now, as Sam Nito leads the field out in front here in Richmond. Number 2 machine, 15 becomes 16 laps in out of 200, is your leading man so far in round number 7. A great beginning for the man at number 2 machine. Sethwell going to be there in second, and Cody Smith going to be there in position number 3. Ross Cato going to be in 4th, and Brad Patton is the man that rounds out your top 5 here and now. Nice and smooth running thus far. We'll see how aggressive they get. That seemed to be just a bit of miscalculation in terms of real estate on the track, and not all too much aggression, of course, in the mid-pack there. Just trying to get your laps logged down. So not a big deal so far for those guys. It can be recovered, but right now slows the pace of play down big time indeed. That time by, the leaders do not go down pit road. It's going to be Nito staying out with Noel and Cody Smith. We'll see who comes down first. It looks like the middle of the pack choosing not to go down just yet. Who's going to bite the bullet? It looks like one man will have to, and it might just be Colin Gibbon right now getting back of the field, but one other going to go down right there with him. That looks to be Randy Fiash. So is the man of the 44 machine. It looks like that's going to be Bobby Ross going in. No, it will not be. It will be Luis Caballero. And it looks like right in front of him, it's going to be James Ross. Then Stan Carlson. Does Matt Jonas go in? It looks like Alan Dobbs actually goes in. So drivers shifting up strategy very early, as we mentioned. And Sam need to hold on. 17 laps in, out of 200. Nancy Wetmore, thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. A double duty broadcasting night. The Tuesday nights are going to be a bit more packed live on FTN. Right now, of course, we have the Integrity Octane Series as we've had for the past about 7 weeks or so. But in addition, the Highline Racing League Development Series, the Texaco Truck Series comes to you live in about 20 minutes time, led by River Page on FTN as well. Be sure to look out for that. And the Truck Series goes to Talladega. If you're interested, that's going to be on in a few moments time. But stick around here as the racing action with these next gens only brought live on FTN, 8:50 Eastern. We always go live, and these races get on their way by 9. 18 laps in so far, and it's going to be 9:12 on the Eastern Seaboard, so beating the pace minute after minute. But yellow flag number 1 going to get these guys much slower, and all low down as Sam Nito's your man out in front. Then it's going to be Seth Well in second, Cody Smith there in third, then Ross Cato in fourth, Brad Patton rounds out your top 5. Then it's going to be the man in that number 6 position, Nicholas Ward in the 97. Trevor Traeger going to be there in 7th. Jacob Fife there in 8th. And Nick Tarbuck getting in 9th. Rounding out your top 10, it is Cody Griffin. Sam Nito, however, leads the way. And with Nito out in front, 19 laps in, we will be going down to the 1 lap to green once again, and it is going to be a good turnout when it comes to the drivers. Indeed, for Buffett, you love to see it. It is a turnout of over 30 drivers, and as it stands, not one retiree. 33 men on the circuit as it stands. You love to see it at the short track, especially like Richmond. The track can get a bit packed, so lap machines might become a factor as the night goes on. That, of course, remains to be seen. As it stands, though, nobody has been put more than 1 down. Alan Dobbs goes 1 down. Schessler gets back in the lead lap. So 1 goes in, 1 goes out. The lead lappers are still 32 strong as the iRacing official pace car goes down for the first time in a restart. Restart number 1, led by Sam Nito. Let's get right back at it. And a monster start for Sam Nito. That time by going to be Cody Smith there in second. Seth Well going to be in third. Side by side, it's going to be Brad Patton and Ross Cato. The number 1 machine in position gets a major jump once again. And here he goes. Nice and smooth. Sam Nito to the point. Number 2 machine at position number 1. And as it saw itself go last time around on our first start, the leader sees himself out of the field. And he checks out nicely. Now Cody Smith for Next Level Racing going to be there in second. Keep an eye out for Next Level Racing as we go on throughout tonight's event. 3 scheduled breaks as the night goes on to, of course, thank their incredible support in the Integrity Racing League, representing last season's champion, the 22-22 champ, looking to go back-to-back this season, and Cody Smith making a good show so far. As it stands, number 18 machine is going to be second position. Let's take a lap on board with him. And now it looks like Cody Smith going to be top man on the board. Goes right there, and you saw it on your screen. Take an instant replay on the TV cameras to take one more look right at him. The 18 machine has Sam Nito right there in front of him, and it looks like Sam Nito just about disappeared there on our end, and that is indeed the case. A network failure for the man in that number 2 machine. I think that has to be a hardware failure, if anything, and the man out in front has been disconnected by force. But as you can see, it was not an aggressive pass to the lead. It was not anything physical. Cody Smith, though, is now out in front, and look at him go. The 18 machine now has been promoted up to first, and Seth Well getting right there in second. Brad Patton's going to be in third. Ross Cato going to be in fourth, and 1 man down, and I'm almost certain that was not intentional. The man leading has disconnected from your race 25 laps in, and he had that thing led by a decent margin, a decent enough margin, not being any jeopardy for a good while if he just kept it consistent. And now it looks like consistency going to be key in this battle that we saw in the back of the field. Take a quick look for the back now. Randy Fiash going to be in a bit of trouble in his own right. Goes 3 seconds down on pace. We did see the man at the number 8 machine in position. Cody Griffin on the number 3 battle just a bit side by side. Now down the back it'll be Tarbuck and Griffin. Tom Wetmore there in 10th. Karsten Bechtel going to be at 11th as they go through inside line through 3 and 4 once more. It looks like the number 59 machine going to be able to stay in 11th as every driver gets one position added to their total. Sam Nito has yet to return to the field, and we're trying to find out what happened to him, as that, of course, did not seem to be intentional. And of course, no driver wanted to disconnect from the lead, but we'll try to find out what in fact caused that issue. Could be weather causing an internet outage, could be a hardware failure, a manufacturing defect with the computer itself. That, of course, remains to be seen, and in iRacing, that's the equivalent to an engine failure, just a bit different in the virtual realm. As it stands, though, the Cody Smith machine able to pull away nice and steady. Slow and steady does not win the race, but consistency absolutely does, and that time by Cody Smith. Faster by 400th of a second, now 800th of a second. He's consistently faster and putting together laps of anyone's dreams, 23 range, and that's going to be the end to making the means as the number 18 downs the back once again. Closest battle of the circuit right now looks to be between Kevin Matz and Stan Carnathan as the 82 machine goes down the inside line and the 50 machine stays right up. That time by though, Matt's going to have to consolidate that position. Stan Carnathan going to be able to get himself into the 15th spot, and Bobby Ross in front of the both of them stays in 14th. He's going to be about 3/10 behind the man in the 94 machine of Boomer Logan and about 3/10 up on Stan Carnathan. As it stands, Carnathan, one of the guys on the playoff bubble before he made his absence, of course, in the past few weeks. Now he is indeed back competing once again, but as it is, he certainly appears to be a few points off the championship bubble, a few more points than he was beforehand, more than 25 points out as it stands. And we'll take a look at that further on in this event. 31 laps in out of 200 though, and it's currently pushing as hard as he can to get every point that he possibly can recover back in his way. The 18 machine has the way of the circuit master. The number 18 machine, position number 1, as is going to be Seth Well there in second. Then it's going to be Brad Patton in third, 32 in out of 200, and he is flying. As it stands, it looks like no other driver on the pace of the man in that number 18 or the 88. These top two drivers just about dead, even though that time by Seth Well was in fact faster by 2/100ths of a second. Brad Patton now going to see himself be in a bit of a pressurized zone as Ross Cato putting that pressure down right there on him. The 12 machine of Ross Cato now has his Ford Mustang dialed up, and it's catering right to his knees for fast forward esports. He's going on the fast forward button. Is number 12 Ford Mustang, and now in the battle for the podium. Take a look on board with the man in that number 12. You can see he's getting oh so close. Maybe too close for comfort for Patton, but oh so close indeed for the number 12 machine to make it to the third. And one thing to keep an eye out for, as it stands, the leaders are now only within 5 seconds of the lap machines in your frame. Stephen Wetton going to be the first of which he's 21 seconds down, as is. Then it's going to be Luis Caballero, and undeniably, these drivers are going to throw a wrench into the equation. We've seen it before, and in short track racing, oftentimes, winners are determined by who can pick through lap machines the best. But 35 laps in out of 200, not even halfway. It won't be all too much so far, and we certainly do expect for, of course, tire strategy to play a more important factor. But at this rate, it could be a big deal for the drivers outside of that top two battle, as it's going to be Ross Cato getting closer and closer time after time. Take a look at the rear view from the Brad Patton machine, and you can see the rear view mirror. This is almost exactly what he is seeing, and Cato down the back, trying everything he can, lunges it in sometimes through the entry, gets a better exit on others, and every opportunity he can find, he'll try to take it, but so far has not found the one that puts him out in front of this battle. Make it 37 laps in that time by, and the 37 machine going to be in 7th, chasing the man in the 36 there in 6th. Now going to be a 4-car gaggle, as it looks like Jacob Fife gaining more and more time, the fastest man in this battle, and it looks like about the fastest man on the circuit, short of 1,000th of a second to Trevor Drago there. And these top 10 guys pulling up to one another, as you can see side by side. Cato going to go for 4th, but it's going to be Seth Well down the inside line for the lead, and now the 18 machine is going to be a bit of jeopardy as the 88 gets the power down and gets it done. Seth Well, your new race leader, 38 laps in out of 200. A great move for the man of that number 88 machine. Cody Smith going to be there in 2nd, and Brad Patton to be there in third, and you can see Ross Cato holds on as they go switching back and forth. Lap machine does indeed play a factor. Stephen Wetton now sees two drivers taking two grooves right behind him, and two drivers battling for the lead are right in front of him, and it's going to be all about who gets it done and when it's all done. As Sethwell gets it done, executed at the perfect time, and now he leads, and he has it by a fine margin, and it's going to be side by side once again. Patton there with Cato, going to be a bit of wiggle from the number 12 machine. Brad Patton going to be there on the high side, and Nicholas Ward goes down to the inside line. That number 97 for Coors, trying to make it in. Far from a hangover from last week, a strong result, even though it was involved in a bit of an incident between himself and the 83 machine of Guillermo Alvarez. Now makes it almost three wide middle, but it's going to be all about consolidating down to the low line. Now Nicholas Ward going down to the inside, making it three abreast. It looks like Brad Patton gets the spot for now, but Ross Cato has two drivers to joust with, as it's going to be Jacob Fife on his back end and Nicholas Ward right to his side, and not letting up. Nicholas Ward, the most aggressive of the two, down to the inside once again. Fast Forward Esports number 12 machine putting it faster and faster every lap, and now, even though tire degradation is noticeable, about a second off of the fastest lap overall, these drivers are still pushing at wit's end to keep it on pace. As that time by, looks like Brad Patton gets by Stephen Wetton and might be able to get by John Steele in that same token. 1/10 of a second advantage for Sethwell. That time by, coming up with a side-by-side battle between almost lap machines. That's Randy Fiash and Luis Caballero there, and Caballero going to be there with the John Steele machine. No, it's going to be Randy Fiash, of course, in that number 25 machine for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles having a great run in the NFL last season, getting to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately not getting it done. Philadelphia having a great stick and ball program last year with the Phillies and, of course, the Eagles, but that time by, Sethwell able to pick through one, get through two. Nice move for the 88 machine. Gets by and gets it done. 44 laps in out of 200. That's the way to do it for the man out in front, the National Guard, number 88. Going to be able to guard his first position effectively like no other driver, and looking for back-to-back wins in this league. He might just have it in his favor, of course. Here and now, he's still got a bit more time to lock it up. A lot of the time, as we're almost a quarter of the way and sliding through in and out. You can see the number 18 machine doing the exact same thing, getting right by the Fiash machine. First, the Caballero machine passed through, and now the double file battle between those two drivers persists, but not without the leaders getting through. Closest battle to the racing circuit as it stands appears to be in the middle of the pack. It's going to be Guillermo Alvarez there with Kevin Matz and Kyle Cooper. So keep an eye out on this, as it looks like sliding back and forth. The Kevin Matz machine now going to be in that 18th spot, and these guys closer and closer to being put a lap down. They're about a half lap off of the leaders as it stands already. And double file they were for a moment as we tuned right into them, but right now they're going to be able to get themselves in a bit of a calmer procedure. The number 23 machine of Chad Dillon now 19 seconds off. He would be the next man to be lapped, as it looks like Sethwell is gaining more and more time on his rear end, and they're all getting closer and closer to not catastrophe, but certainly a more intense moment for any drivers. They all get closer and closer. Cody Smith now a second and a half off. He's getting further and further from your leading man, and it looks like now Brad Patton has a multitude of drivers right behind him. Jacob Fife going to be there in 6th, closing in on Ross Cato, Nicholas Ward, and of course Patton there. And now it's going to be Tom Wetmore sliding down to the inside line, and Wetmore makes it so and sticks himself right into the inside line and passes by Trevor Drago. Now Wetmore up into the top 7 and looking to get into the top 5, as he's been in that top 10 for quite a few laps now, and getting closer and closer as it stands. It's going to be 49 laps in out of 200, and Sethwell holds on very strong. Lap number 50 going to be a first Next Level Racing promotional break, and Next Level Racing, an exciting partnership with Ferrari. Officially licensed Ferrari Elite products designed for especially those who are sim racers dedicated to what the best is for them. If you want the best and nothing but the best, Next Level Racing is the place to be. Visit nextlevelracing.com for more information and on their official partnership with Ferrari and high quality sim racing performance products, no matter what budget you have. Thank you, of course, for viewing, and thank Next Level Racing for their incredible support in the Integrity Racing League. We will be right back. And that will be your first Next Level Racing promotional break. Once again, a major shout out to Next Level Racing for their immense support in the Integrity Racing League, as 53 laps in, out of 200, making 54 that time by Sam Nito. Disconnected from the lead, but it is the man out in front still in Sethwell, position number 1 by about 3 seconds now. It's going to be Cody Smith there in second for Next Level Racing, making a next level drive of his own, and then it'll be Nicholas Ward in third as the battle rages on. It's going to be side by side. Tom Wetmore is now with the man in that number 1 machine, looking to get into the top 4. He's already in the top 5, and he now has the pace to get right by. Now Wetmore makes it up to the 4th spot, and he's going to be right outside that podium position. Nicholas Ward, the next man to chase down, as Wetmore is absolutely one of the fastest men on the track, and it looks like with clean air he can only get even faster. That time by with a multitude of drivers on his side. He ran a 24.070, and that's going to be one of the fastest laps on the track, bar none, let alone those involved in a midfield battle. And right now he gets clean air, and he's going to be able to run a 24.052. We'll see how fast he can get as he gets himself right back into the swing of things without anyone right by him. Nicholas Ward running a 24-second flat lap. What a lap that was. He's going to be the fastest man on the circuit that time around. But now degrading tires are a major factor, and they will be key to tonight's strategy. As it all goes on, it appears it's getting more and more visible. That time by, they're going to be almost 2 seconds off their best lap, and it's going to be Nicholas Ward in third. Seth Wells still is the man out in front, 57 in out of 200, and the 88 machine makes it so. Gets right by Guy Petra that time by. 88 going to be able to pass the 8 and put himself out in front by a total of 4 and almost a half second to add on to that. Nicholas Ward getting in slowly but surely, as Cody Smith losing more and more time on second. Still is going to be able to lock himself into a nice top 3 finish at this rate. We'll see how long he's going to be able to hold on to it, though. Tom Wetmore is now chasing with a vengeance. That time by was about 1/10 of a second slower than Nicholas Ward, but 2/10 of a second quicker than Cody Smith here. So faster than second and slower than third. That means they're all going to get right up to one another if the number 18 machine is able to defend for his life. As it is, it appears the 18 machine still has that spot, but he's losing more and more time as we speak. That time by, Wetmore was in fact faster than every driver except for one, and that one was your leader in Seth Wells, has clean air, and this man, Tom Wetmore, does not. So the number 51 machine for Tube Tech currently putting it all together. He has the hardware to get it done, but we'll see if he's going to be able to claw down the leader. He's got 60 laps in, out of 200. Certainly a bit further back for his liking. Seth Wells going to be right now first on the board. Nonetheless, going to be then Cody Smith in the second spot. But side by side, Nicholas Wood going to be able to go and take him there. And it's going to be a nice and smooth battle. And now these two drivers fighting at wit's end for only a moment. It appears that the man out in front in that number 97 machine able to get it done. Look at that. It's going to be Ward now in second and Seth Wells there in first. It is all coming down to this, and it appears that the man out in front and now has a new competitor battle with. It's going to be Nicholas Ward in position number 2. Seth Wells still going to be in first now, and as it continues to go on, Jacob Fife going to be in 5th right now with Brad Patton battling Trevor Drago as we speak. And a great battle being put on by these drivers as it stands. It looks like Brad Patton going to be on that high side, and that's of course the disadvantageous line. You don't want to be caught in there. Of course, every driver knowing that Richmond and most of these short tracks, you want to be down on the inside line, less distance to be traveled, and of course more opportunities to pass easily. And the grip and the groove has all developed down to the inside. The low line has been king all night long. And right now, Seth Wells going to be the top man on the board even still. Closest battle to racing circuit going to be in the middle of the pack. It's going to be Colin Gibbon right down to the inside line of Chris Scheffler here. And it's Scheffler holding him on honest. He goes up high that time by Alan Robb. We'll get it right there with him. And it looks like Colin Gibbon blinks out just a bit. But Scheffler down the back gets some momentum once again. Alan Robb will get it right between now, right behind the battle. As the 24 machine knows at an instant the number 04 machine could disconnect from the session. It appears he's been a bit of a blinking ball all night long. But right now he looks to be good to go. You can see down the front straightaway It's going to be Schessler with a bit of an edge momentum-wise, but not enough to clear it. Of course, seems they'll be able to keep it dead even that time by at 65 in. Pit strategy might become a part of the game. In due time, Chad Dillon came down a total of 4 laps ago, so it might be an early pit stop on his end. He's 3 laps down as is, though. He's not part of the leading battle. What man is going to be part of the leading battle? It's going to be Cody Smith with Jacob Fife. They're fighting for 4th as is, and Fife goes down to the inside line. Once again, looking to fight the power here, and they're going to be double file. Boomer Logan right there with Trevor Trago. Boomer is not on the lead lap, however, and as he goes down to the inside line on Cody Smith, he makes it 3 wide, and it is evident that Boomer Logan is on a fresh set of good year rubber, or a fresher set by about 20 odd laps, so he's going to be in a much different strategy on his own right. 4 laps down as is. James P. Ross going to be down on the pit road. He's 10 down. As we look back up to the remainder of the field, Ryan Farrell chasing down Nick Tarbuck there for position number 10, and the battle rages on between Alan Robble and Galen Gidman. Gidman up on the high side, get to Robble right down there on the bottom, and Jay Haishman now looking to pull off the heist and get 2 for 1. That time by Robble gets a bit squirrely, goes a bit deeper, and Galen Gidman gives them just enough room, but they're going to be too close, perhaps for comfort, but not too close for contact. That time by Robble gets the edge and gets it done with his number 43 Spam Toyota Camry. And 68 in out of 200. These guys are battling up, down throughout the entirety of the field. Jay Haishman right there in the mix now. Double file in the back of the field. And it seems like the aggression has all been in the further back segments of the circuit. Now, that's great to see. Great racing all around. As you can see, the number 44 machine goes right at it with the 43 that time by. It does mean, though, we might be in jeopardy of seeing a yellow flag. These drivers do not have as much pace as the leaders. That's not to say they're bad drivers at all, but Richmond is a tricky track. Some guys adapt better, some guys do not. And right now, it appears that Rollo, one of those guys able to get away, is one driver in the wall. That time by, it's going to be Luis Caballero. They get right by him. No, they do not, but they do have momentum, and it might be enough to clear. And that time by for Alan Rollo, it is indeed. It looks like Caballero stuck to the wall. That time around is Tom Wentworth going to be side by side for second here. Look at him go. Wentworth looking for position number 2, and it's going to be John Steele right in the mix, and Steele holds him up. Wentworth in the second. Be right back. It looks like we'll be back on the board. You could see that number 97 machine of Nicholas Ward fighting as hard as he can. YouTube having a bit of a glitch there. Our apologies for that one, as it's going to be Tom Wentworth still there in the second position. Seth Well going to be there in first, and YouTube, of course, having a bit of trouble. We are live on 2 different broadcasts at once. That might be the reason, as it looks like our second broadcast has just connected. Keep an eye out for that as the night goes on. Great action to be seen no matter where you're watching. Brad Patton, though, going to be in 6th, and now goes up high with Ross Cater right there with them, and they're still battling side by side. 12 and the 1 double file. It's going to be John Steele on the high side and 73 in out of 200. These guys are far from, of course, a caution, as they're all so spread out, but they are not too far from a pit cycle. That time by Seth Well ran at 24.213, and it looks like Luis Caballero not on screen, but that is going to be the man in that number 04 machine. Galen Gidman that time around getting real slippery, and on a 73 lap old set, he goes 1 down immediately thereafter. Seth Well holds on out in front. Going to be Tom Wentworth there in second, though, and Nicholas Ward right there in third at 75 laps in out of 200. A quarter of the way, of course, until the lap 100 mark, and this race has been flying. Joe Yates going to get real squirrely there, and now drivers in jeopardy of losing control of their machines, be it a Ford, be it a Chevy or a Toyota. All dead even setups here in Richmond tonight, and this even, of course, way of racing makes it so it's all about the driver's ability, or, of course, their ability in tire management, their ability in raw pace. Whatever they have, they'll have to use it to their advantage. As that time by, the man of the 87 machine going to be a bit of trouble in his own right. Seth Well going to be out in front nonetheless in position number 1, and he's standing the test of time quite well. Tom Wentworth going to be in second, Nicholas Ward going to be there in third, and Jacob Fife keeps him honest there in position number 4. Trevor Trago rounds at your top 5 as is, and 77 laps in out of 200. Brad Patton right there in 7th with Carson Bechtel in a 77 in out of 200. And time is flying here in Richmond, and it's been a great run for the number 8 machine. How we ride 1 lap on board. And as you can see, he has the elegant maneuver in that steering wheel time after time. Precise, minute and proficient. That's the way to go for the man in that number 88 machine. It is Seth Well out in front by a wide margin here in Richmond, and no other driver has been as good as him so far, and it looks like he'll be able to keep it out in front by a wide margin indeed. Tom Wetmore going to be right there in position number 2. It's going to be in the 3rd spot, however. The man to keep an eye out on, Nicholas Ward, falling back a second, but he still has an awful lot of pace in his own right, and it looks like so far as they round the back, he's going to have a bit of trouble getting right by the Randy Fiash machine. Fiash goes high, however. Looks like he's going to be able to let him by without much of a problem. And while they all do this one more time, you beg to question, when are these guys going to go down pit road? As it stands, it might be a one-stopper here in Richmond, as they have gone 80 laps so far without even contemplating going down and in. So it's going to be a bit complex to see how it goes down. Trevor Trago going to be side by side there with Jacob Fife. Fife on the high side has that momentum. Trevor Trago has that inside line though, and that's where you want to be. The optimal line to position yourself in, and that time by the 37 machine able to hold on to the inside, but Jacob Fife in 4th gets it done and keeps the spot. Cautions out, 81 laps in out of 200. And we'll find out just why. Yellow flag number 2, and I believe, as a matter of fact, that is your stage break. So no caution for cause, and Seth Well wins the first stage here in Richmond, getting it done by a wide margin. It's going to be the 88 machine for the National Guard, winning stage number 1 on the night. A great job, as Seth Well has kept them all honest thus far, and the 88 machine is the man out in front here in Richmond. Now, with Seth Well, your leading man currently out in front, you know that they're going to have to come down pit road sooner rather than later. And that time by, Seth Well does come down pit road. It looks like he'll be the first to bite that time by. Chris Schetzler stays out in front. And now, with Well going down and in, he'll have a newer set of tires. As you can see, Tom Wetmore comes right in as well. So does Nicholas Ward. So does Jacob Fife, Trevor Trago there as well. Ross Cato, Brad Patton, Carson Bechtel. And now the race on pit road led by a wide margin. And Seth Well, he's all but a favorite to get that pit exit victory. So we keep a watch on more than one driver here. As you can see, Well right there on your frame, 83 in, out of 200. And as it stands, it looks like he has it settled very well. The car's been planted firm. He's had it perfectly. All 4 tires playing well for him. Well, going to be out that time by. Schetzler is your effective race leader. Then it's going to be Tom Wetmore there in 2nd. Nicholas Ward going to be in 3rd. Then Jacob Fife 4th. Then Trevor Trago, Brad Patton, Ross Cato. Then it's going to be Carson Bechtel with the Cody Smith machine. And from there on out, going to be the 83 of Guillermo Alvarez, Nick Tarbuck, Machanas, Cody Griffin, Alan Rodwell. Then it's going to be the 82 Stan Carnathan and Jay Heishman, as the 88 will be the man out in front. Schetzler down pit road that time by, and as they keep it rolling, it seems like the number 88 machine has it in good hands. 84 in out of 200, almost halfway there, and the man out in front has been far from competition all night long, able to run away no matter when. The call of asking for him, he's been able to answer every which way. And now the 88 machine is the man in first once again. Going to be Tom Wetmore there in 2nd, and Wetmore had one hell of a run to start this race off, clawing his way all the way up into the 2nd position. So as we get back into this time by, he only needs to grab one more spot, perhaps for a 2nd victory on the season, getting it done in style at Gateway. A fierce battle with Nick Tarbuck. Right now, Tarbuck is not in the front battle. Wetmore, however, is indeed. So as we keep an eye out for that, take a look at your points battle as it stands, as we'll get that right up on your screen. This is your current championship battle in the Integrity Octane Series. Take a look at that. You can see multiple drivers are locked in on wins. Caitlin Hank, Cody Smith, Seth Well, Tom Wetmore, and Sam Nito. And Don Stevens are currently the first man in on points. Then Nick Tarbuck, Ross Cato, Jacob Fife is only 2 points in. Chris Schetzler is 1 point in, and right now Kevin Matz holds the tiebreaker with Brad Patton. Guillermo Alvarez, the first man out, by 12 points. Ryan Farrell going to be a total of 22 down, and Nick Ward is 25 points down. That is your current bubble standing as it stands. 7 rounds in, of course, this season, out of a total of 30. So right now, looking good for the man in that 51. He's locked in, as is, with the victory. As we get the ticker back on your screen, we go 1 lap to green this time by, 86 in, out of 200 live on FTN, and it's been a great show put on by the number 88 machine in Seth Well. He's had this one in good hands. Tom Wetmore going to be there in second, Ben Nicholas Ward in third, Jacob Fife in fourth, Trevor Drago going to be there in fifth, with Brad Patton sixth, Ross Cato seventh, Carson Bechtel in eighth, and then Cody Smith in ninth. As the man who rounds out the top 10 is Guillermo Alvarez there, and of course the number 10 machine in position, the 83. He is once again in the battle. Let's see what he can do this time by it. And a great reset coming to the halfway mark very soon. Let's see what he's able to get it done. Here we go again, led by Seth Well. Green flag's going to be falling. Second restart, and welcome to stage number 2. And yet again, a great jump for the man at number 8 machine. It's going to be Tom Wetmore in second, but Seth Well hold on out in front. It's going to be Wetmore indeed in second, then Jacob Fife in third. Nicholas Wood going to be there right there side by side, and Brad Patton holds his head up high as Jacob Fife takes the line up high and battles deep with Tom Wetmore. They go double file that time around. It's going to be Carson Bechtel in the 8th spot in the number 59 machine as he's right behind the back bumper. Ross Cato is the closest these guys have been all night long ever since the very beginning, and now not much different from the present, but it might be different from the ending as the 88 machine looking at that wide shot. They're all single file right now except for a battle between Ryan Farrell and Joe Yates. Looks like Kevin Matkin right there as well, and double file they were for a moment. They go single that time by. Colin Gibman still involved in his own intense battle as that number 04 machine has been no stranger to the action right now, though it's only about 17 men on that lead lap. Schessler the last of which he's only 4 seconds off of your leader as it stands 90 laps in out of 200, and it is Seth Well, the man who's held on top of the field all night long, and he keeps himself intact. 90 in out of 200. He now leads by about half a second as Jacob Fife gets it by surprise, and now he's going to be in position number 2. The 36 machine want to keep an eye out for as he continues to go through lap after lap, now only within a tenth of a second of your leader. Closing in, not just yet, but the 36 machine does have an awful lot of promise and might be able to make it happen as the night goes on, as Jacob Fife rounds every turn, going through every apex and putting it in position just perfect. Seems to be one of those guys to be a force to reckon with later on as the track is coming to its own. The groove has been developed. You can see the darker segment of the asphalt. That's, of course, where you want to be here in Richmond. And right now, Jacob Fife is indeed where you want to be in second. Great drivers in front and behind. But right now, he's one of the men holding everyone off. Tom Wetmore right there. He's been on the offense all night long. Will he be able to defend Nicholas Ward right now? Maybe. But he seems to have a long run car, not much of a short run car. So with this new run on the board, it could be yet another long run. We did see us, of course, go about 50 laps that time by. We'd have to go double that to get to the checkered flag. We went about actually 80 on one set of tires, though, so it's going to be a bit of a shift in our analytics. Maybe these guys would choose to go all the way. Maybe they won't. That, of course, remains to be seen. That time by, the 51 machine holds his head up high. 94 laps in out of 200. We're almost at our lap 100 here. Halftime is approaching as the 88 machine holds on to position number 1, and down the back you can see the battles are ferocious in the mid-pack. As they come into their screens, a lot of guys who are 1 lap down battling with that side-by-side intensity. Schessler right now going to be side-by-side with lap machine in his own right. Kevin Max right there as well, and it's a very interesting sight to see. The most intense drivers on the circuit are, of course, 1 down. Now, they're all fighting each other for that lucky dog. As it stands, Joe Yates has it. He's right behind Ryan Farrell. If a yellow flag came out and he was not involved, he would be put back on the lead lap. But as it is, the 93 machine has himself right behind Jay Hageman, very close. If the 87 machine were to be registered as a participant in a potential incident, he would be sent down to, of course, the 1 lap down ranks, kept down there, as a matter of fact, instead of being promoted back to lead lap. You would not want to see that. That is the iRacing way of doing things. There is a lucky dog system that makes sure that if you cause a wreck on your own, as we see, it's going to be a spin. Bobby Ross, does he save it? Yes, he does. And now it looks like Joe Yates does get that lap back as the yellow flag out for a bit of pushing and shoving. That time by, Bobby Ross almost goes around. Let's check out just what happened. And checking out a drone shot of the action, Schessler dives it in deep, and Ross able to save it, but not without some brake work, losing some spots and getting a yellow in the process. The 87 does get the lucky dog as we mentioned it, and now The 44 has to put the power down once again, and certainly not going to be happy about that one at all. The 44 goes up high on the circuit and tries to get himself back up to Schetzler. Hopefully no malice intended, as he gets right behind the 24 machine, and right now going to give him just a bit of a bump perhaps. No, looks like he lays off, and it looks like now everything is good to go. Ross going to be right there with Schetzler, though. We'll watch this as we are into yet another caution there. A bit of pushing and shoving in the back as Setwell leads us here, round 7 from Richmond, and it has been led by him a good majority of the way here, and as it stands, 98 laps to do it here and now. We've gotten down to almost the halfway mark, and we passed lap 100 when we go green. Once again, a great run put on by every driver thus far, and so far indeed, it seems like that number 88 machine, a force to reckon with, 99 in out of 200 as it's. And with the number 88 machine in position number 1, Jacob Fife there in second. A great start for the man at number 36 machine. I tell you what, Jacob Fife puts on a show every time he goes racing, and tonight is no exception. A powerful drive on his end in that number 36 machine to get up into second. Of course, has had some top 10 pace all night long. He has not had to claw through the back all the way, but so far he certainly has been making a bit of a come from behind story in his own right as they come down to lap number 100 this time by. He certainly is one of the guys to look out for as they go double file this time by in the top 2. It looks like one lap to green will be next time by, but Jacob Fife already getting ready for it. The choose rule looks to be in effect there. He chooses to go right up high. And as we wait to get it going, we can see the number 36 machine get there in a second. Tom Wentworth, how about him in third, plowing through the field all night long. And he is now up there in the podium. And as we get it going, once again, he's of course looking for a second win of the season, and he's oh so close to making it happen in that third spot halfway through. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish, and Wentworth embodies that race after race, night after night, and tonight of course is no exception. Now 100 laps in out of 200, we have a bit of time, so as we use that time, if you want to keep up to date with all things FDN, be sure to visit our official Discord server for more information on everything that we broadcast, be it a league you want to join, a race you want to watch with up close access to everything that we do, or perhaps want to join our broadcasting crew, see if you can cut it out. We'd love to have you on board. Great to have, of course, a lot of great members in this server, of course, drivers, broadcasters, and fans alike. All your feedback means the world to us, and if you want to join, use the link on your screen. It's in QR code form, or go to the description. If you're on your TV, you can certainly pull it up with your phone, get that QR code scanner going. We'd love to have you live on FTN, the official Discord server, in the link in the description and the QR code on your screen. Now, as it stands, the man on your screen out in front is still Setwell, who wanted a Circuit of the Americas, and right now, the race of attrition is slowly but surely kicking in. 2 retirees as is, and those would be James Ross and Sam Nito. Now, Nito disconnected for the lead. James Ross looks to have backed it down after a few incidents early on, but otherwise, a good majority of the pack is still going, so as it is, great to see that the drivers have been able to keep it going without many incidents that have been detrimental, but a few small ones adding up as we get back at it once again. It will be the man out in front, the 88 machine in Setwell, taking them down to the start-finish line. 88 for National Guard right behind, and now right beside the Pro Powder and Paint number 36 machine. And Pro Powder and Paint, a proud sponsor of course, the Integrity Racing League and Jacob Fife. Let's get right back into it. Reason to be proud for Setwell. He's led him almost all the way through. Green flags out once again. And Setwell that time by gets it done once again out in front, but Tom Wentworth now in the aggression that time by. He's going to be on the hot foot, and now it looks like the 51 machine is in there, battling as hard as he can with Jacob Fife that time by. They go side by side, 104 laps in. Setwell going to be still there in first, but Wentworth gets himself back up into second. Now that's the pace we expected out of Wentworth, getting through the field so easily, gets by Jacob Fife so easily that time by, and now Fife will have to learn how to battle back in due time. But right now, Tom Wentworth learning how to battle a man who's mastered this track all night long. Now less than 100 laps to do it, 105 laps in, now it'll be 96 laps to go. For the man at number 88 machine, Seth Well leads over Tom Wetmore, Jacob Fife, Brad Patton, and Nicholas Ward. And you can see side by side from there on out, it's going to be Guillermo Alvarez with Cody Smith. Cody Griffin going to be there with Nick Tarbuck. Stan Carnathan going to be there as well. And up to the high side, Carnathan goes. He's trying to get another top 10 finish. He's been Mr. Consistency when it races. A lot of top 10 finishes to start his season off. And coming back into action, Carnathan, one of the guys to watch once again. He should be able to make it happen once more if he keeps himself right there. It's going to be one man going down to the inside line. It's Ryan Farrell. Will it be a yellow flag? I don't believe it will be, as Ryan gets it back going, but certainly going to be not without incident. He does have himself recollected, and you saw that wreck on screen, just gets it all squirrely, and now back on the move. 94 laps to go here in Richmond. Sam is the man who was out in front, Nito at the very least, who did disconnect, and he let the man in number 8 machine go from there. Seth Well out in front with 94 to do it. That's going to be Tom Wetmore 1 second back, and Jacob Fife in third. And as it stands, I got a feeling that these drivers might have to say one thing in their interviews. They didn't have anything for the 88 machine, but it ain't over till it's over. They could come up with something as the night goes on, and I would not put that past anyone in this league, in especially competitive field. But right now, Seth Well, one of those guys who has been on his A-game night after night. Tom Wetmore there in second, going to be Jacob Fife in third, Brad Patton there in fourth, Nicholas Ward in fifth, and the single file train persists as Cody Griffin sees one man right in front of him. That's going to be the man in the number 18 machine, and Cody Smith, as lap 109 goes to lap 110. We'll go to your second Next Level Racing promotional break. Once again, Next Level Racing, high-quality sim racing performance products since 2009, and the best place to go for all your sim racing needs. Once again, visit nextlevelracing.com for more information. We'll be right back after this brief message from Next Level Racing. And that was your second Next Level Racing promotional break. Once again, high-quality sim racing performance products since 2009. Visit nextlevelracing.com for more information on your proud partner of the Integrity Racing League and the Integrity Octane Series. As it stands, Cody Smith running a next level paint scheme, having a next level drive there in 9th, side by side with Cody Griffin for 10th now. And as we go back out in front, 88 laps to go, and the number 88 machine has led almost every lap in contention so far. He's had them all beat all night long, and I think Seth Well, one of the favorites to come out of this one with a victory, if not the man to have done it, of course, at this point in the race. 113 in, still got an awful lot of time to get this one sealed up, but he has drove with an incredible amount of ability, passion, and a fiery town. He's been in the hot seat, and tonight the hot seat has not gotten any hotter. It's been the same temperature all night long. No burnout for him just yet, as Tom Wetmore right now looking to see a burnout after the checkered flag. 87 laps to do it though. He's still a bit further off than he'd like to be. Jacob Fife there in third, Brad Patton going to be in fourth, Nicholas Ward going to be in fifth, Guillermo Alvarez there in sixth, as the caution flies with 86 laps to go. Kyle Cooper, Bobby Ross lose time. Randy Fiash there. Let's find out just who caused it and just what happened. It looks like it's going to be a multi-car incident involving Kyle Cooper. Let's take a more in-depth analysis. And Kyle Cooper right there with Gallon Gidman and Bobby Ross. That time by now. Kyle Cooper gets a bit too close to Gallon Gidman. Maybe, maybe not. So it looks like maybe not indeed. Bobby Ross goes down to the inside line. Two drivers fighting for one piece of real estate, and they make contact once again. And the Beluga number 73 machine goes down around. Boomer Logan spins as well. And as they get it going, a three-car incident on your frame. And the number 73 machine, a key man involved. So is the 44 in Bobby Ross. and 116 laps into the night's event. 85 laps to do it. Seth holds on out in front on a 33-lap old stint on tires. We'll see whether or not he chooses to go down pit road this time by. It could be the case for him. It could be not. That all remains to be seen. His strategy is not known just yet. It could be anything for the man in that number 88. Brad Patton in second. Guillermo Alvarez now in third. So a big shuffle up on this run so far, and it might continue to shuffle up as the night goes on, as Alvarez is there in third, Brad Patton in second, Seth there in first, and Trevor Trago going to be in that fourth spot as Ross Cato rounds out your top five with Cody Griffin there in sixth. As it stands, though, 85 going to become 84 laps to do it, and Seth has led almost every green flag lap of tonight's event. He's had that dominating pace all night long, and it looks like with 84 to do it, he just has to hold on to what he's got if he wants the victory. A few guys come down pit road, including Jacob Fife, and he's back on his way. So is Nicholas Ward, Cody Smith, Jay Haishman, Stan Carnathan, Tom Wetmore, and it looks like Wetmore falls a bit further back than he'd like. Now, Wetmore down to 8, but he does win the race off pit road, so he does have a good opportunity to fall back into play. However, right now he'd have to fight through to get there, so that, of course, is up to him. It's at his jurisdiction so far, as Seth is your leading man nonetheless. 117 laps in out of 200, and that time by, Seth still leads him, as even under pacing, Richmond's laps are bad fast, and 52-second caution laps. That's about as fast as a lap at Talladega. And speaking of Talladega, live on FTN, we also have the Texaco Truck Series at Talladega for their season and series opener. And if you want to tune into that, well, the link is going to be, of course, on the FTN YouTube channel. If you enjoy tonight's festivities, be sure to leave a like on this stream and subscribe to the channel as we chase 1,000 subscribers. It's been a great journey so far. We thank every one of you for your immense, immeasurable support. But right now, the man out in front, Seth has had an immeasurable distance from himself and the remainder of the pack. Just nobody on his level so far. We'll see how long he's able to go, as it is the 88 machine in first with Sam Nito. The man who disconnected earlier, now down in position number 33. One of only two retirees, Nito is James Ross, going to be in 32nd, as it's Seth on the inside line, going all the way down to delegate himself there. Brad Patton going to go up high. Alvarez going to be on the inside, and every driver outside of the top 7 besides 3 lap machines have gone down to pit roads. The lappers are out of play already when it comes to leading battle. But these guys behind the drivers, such as, Wetmore, of course, he's right there as the first man, but the guy behind Cody Griffin or Carson Bechtel, those guys will be dressed later on. Sam Wetmore playing the strategy just a bit different, as every driver looking to come up with something to beat the best man on the track, quite frankly, all night long. Let's get right back to it this time by the iRacing official pace car. Takes a hard left. Green flag's going to be out once again, led by Seth And Seth with a rocket start once again. Brad Patton going to be there in second. Guillermo Alvarez there in third. Ross Cato's going to be in the fourth spot with Trevor Trago there in fifth. As you can see, it's going to be double file side by side. Jacob Fife going to now be almost 3 wide and 3 abreast. They were from one of the battle. The mid-pack is picking up big. Taking a look at our further out drone shot. You can see the 36 machine side by side with Carson Bechtel here. And right behind him, it's going to be Stan Carnathan with the Cody Smith machine. Smith going to be right there on the inside line. It's going to be the 82 machine holding on strong though. And Stan Carnathan with a good run so far in 12th in that top decimal, looking to make it a bit more as the night goes on, as drivers are cramming each other to wits end. And the number 12 machine in position is that number 82, as 122 laps in out of 279 laps to do it. And Seth holds on out in front here from Richmond. That's going to be Brad Patton there in second. Tom Wetmore in third. It's going to be Guillermo Alvarez fourth. Ross Cato in fifth. Nicholas Ward going to be side by side with Trevor Trago now. And 79 to do with the guys out in front. The top 3 are beginning to pull away as Wetmore battles side by side with Brad Patton. Take a look on board with the man at the number 1 machine. See if he tries to put a switch back on Wetmore. And that time by, he does not get anything done, but he does get close. No cigar, however, with 78 laps to do it. And the 7th round here at Richmond has been won with an awful lot of action, intensity, and some strategy mixed in. And right now, Tom Wetmore might have that perfect strategy. That time by, he gets by Brad Patton with ease. And now he's on to chase the man in that number 88 machine. Tom Wetmore chasing Sethwell, and this might be Sethwell's worst nightmare in the short term, but he still has one more tire set that he is saving in the hopes for a caution. But down to the inside line, that's on by. Wetmore goes down for it, and while the strategy is a bit different, he gets it nonetheless, trying and true. The 51 leads it for the first time tonight, and Wetmore is the man out in front with 76 laps to do it. And now Tom Wetmore is out in front. The number 88 machine getting right there in second. Nicholas Ward now side by side with Brad Patton here, and 125 laps in. These guys are booking it time after time, and with 75 on the line indeed. The number 97 knows what he's got in store. He gets right by Brad Patton. Now Jacob 5 going to fight him with Cody Smith there in 6th. Chris Schetzler going to be in 7th. Ross Cato going to be in 8th. Guillermo Alvarez now has Stan Carnathan right behind him, but Carnathan has a big battle, the number 4 to the number 3, as they go double file driving. Tarbuck gets the edge for now. It's going to be Cody driven right down the mix, however, and as they go, dialing it in side by side, Tarbuck has the edge. Trevor Trago now right there behind him, and an especially strong run from Trevor Trago all night long here in Richmond. Big props to him. That 37 fighting hard with drivers such as Ryan Farrell, and Farrell gets right down to his inside line as we mentioned it, and he's been able to keep a great fight going regardless of who comes right up to him. So big show for the man in that number 93, but a big show indeed for the 37 as well. Joe Yates goes down to his side line now, and it looks like a freight train is in procession, and that freight train on the inside line, it is dastardly, and any driver can get caught up in it, and right now one driver who did, it's going to be the 37 Trevor Traco. Bad news, and there's no bear as Tom Wetmore holds on out in front. 72 to do it. Nicholas Ward going to be there in second. Jacob Fife now down the inside line on him, and the battle for second is back in full swing. This time by looks at 97 as the edge, but Jacob Fife has that inside line once again. And now watching the quarter panel view for the Nicholas Ward machine. That time by, Fife gets the power down, and it looks like they'll be almost side by side, but not enough for the Nicholas Ward machine. As down to the inside line, it is a side-by-side battle even still. Nicholas Ward gets a bit momentum off, but 71 laps to go. Caution flag once again. And we will find out why. It looks like John Steele might have been the cause. As it stands, we're taking a look throughout the entirety of the field. We don't see anyone in specific who might have gotten involved here. So we'll try to get a much wider angle, find out maybe if it's caused by a man like Fiash. No, John Steele. Oh, there it is. It's going to be the number 23 machine, Chad Dillon there. And Dillon multiple laps down as is. Let's find out what happened as he was with Kevin Matz and the number 23 in big trouble as we take a look, and a quick glimpse shows. Goes down to the inside line. Fiash gives a big shunt there, and the 23 just loses it on the apron. Bad news indeed. And now the caution's out once again. 70 laps to go, and it will become 69 laps to go very shortly as the number 23 in big trouble after the fact. Tom Wetmore is your leading man, and he's going to be able to come down to the front stretch this time by 70 laps to go. We're going to be able to make it 69 laps to do it, and a nice run for him so far. Strategy now playing out in his favor, as it's going to be some guys, including Seth Well, coming down a pit road this time by for one more set. And as he goes in, he's going to drop down a big amount as he has a good majority of the field on a different strategy, trying to beat him out. 69 laps to do it, and we have seen tire strategy play a major factor in this league before. It could happen once again. Newer tires versus track position. The battle is age, as I'd have to say, as age old as time itself. And right now, age on the tires is the biggest and most important setback for some, and the biggest and more important advantage for others. 132 laps in here from Richmond, 69 to do it, and the man out in front, Tom Wetmore, holds on nice and smooth, and it is going to be him for the taking on this restart. We'll see whether or not he's going to be able to keep it out in front, if he's going to be able to lock up that lead on the restart. Most leaders have been able to do so, but now it seems like maybe it could be a challenge from Nicholas Ward. Nicholas Ward as fast as he could, and that number 97 machine caught right up to Jacob Fife and almost got him there on that battle. Of course, it did become a bit of an unfinished battle, but on the scoring loops at the very least, it was a 97 with that advantage. So great run for him so far, as he does get by the 36 machine according to our scoring data. So that's what you love to see for a man like the number 97 machine. But Jacob Fife certainly hoping to battle back in his own right, and with 68 laps to do it, a lot of time to battle this one back as Tom Wetmore holds on strong out in front. 133 laps in, out of 200, make it 134 next time by. 67 laps to go here in the 7th round of the season at Richmond, and Tom Wetmore gonna have it 2 laps to green. This time by then it's gonna be the man in that number 97, Nicholas Ward, in second. They will be going side by side very shortly as Jacob Fife there in third. How about we talk about a man who is in third? Well, it looks like now Cody Smith gonna be down in fourth, and he might go down to the inside line on the choose rule, so he will be effectively in third according to NASCAR's old rules. For those who don't know, the choose rule allows drivers to go up higher, go down low, depending on their preference, and usually in iRacing and NASCAR itself, the inside line is automatically first, the outside is automatically second, and so on. So if Cody Smith were to choose that inside line, it would be effectively third at most other circuits and most other periods of racing history. But right now, history is now, and he wants to make some history, getting it done here in 2023. Once again, he'd love to do it down to the inside. Jacob Fife goes, and up high, Cody Smith makes it happen. As now with 66 laps to do it, they'll get back into the racing swing. Once again, time is running out. 135 laps in already for Tom Wetmore, and he wants to seal the deal sooner rather than later. And as it stands, looks to be in good standing to do just that. The number 51 holds on in first, with Nicholas Ward there in second. Jacob Fife is there in third. And then, of course, the man in fourth is Cody Smith. And as we get right into it this time by down to the inside line, the iRacing official pace car able to go. We will be green flag once again. And here we have it. Tom Wetmore leads him through once again. Make it 65 this time by green flags out, led by Wetmore. And as it stands, the guys on new tires are a few spots back, the closest of which is going to be Seth Well. He's in 10th at the moment and clawing that spots as we speak. That number 88 machine able to get right up there. He's now in the top 10. The next man beside him going to be Cody Griffin in 13th. So these guys are now closing in on the top 15, top 10. Seth Well already makes it over to the 9th as we speak, though. So he is certainly the man leading this train right now. That number 88 machine, the one to watch so far. And you can see that 88 machine is on a tear, battling inside and out to get every spot he possibly can, and it looks like it's going to be able to work out just fine on his end. The number 88 machine going to be able to get right up in there, that top 10, and he might be able to get just a bit more of it as the night goes on, getting faster and faster. And now Seth Well with the fastest tires on the circuit might be able to be the fastest man. It was 63 to go. We have yet another yellow flag. And it looks like it's going to be a big one involving a good majority of the field. You can see Boomer Logan in the back of your frame involved, and we will check out what happened once again. 94 machine of Boomer Logan now on your frame with 62 laps to go. Let's find out just what caused this wreck. Logan up high. Was he involved to start? No, he was not. It looks like the man out in front of Brad Patton was. We'll check in on Brad Patton this time by and take a look and see what happened. And Patton right there with Alan Dobbs in tow, side by side. He was with Trevor Trago. Then Carson Bechtel came right up there, no contact for him. Dobbs goes down and cuts it in early, and that's what brings out your yellow. Patton gonna get involved, and then get Boomer Logan involved. You could see then Luis Caballero there. A lot of guys in the back of the field get caught up, and with 62 laps to go, a major hit once again. Gonna be a bit of bumper cars in the back of the field, but we are under yellow once more. Now, Tom Wetmore is in first, of course, and Seth Well, the first man on new tires, is there in 9th and gaining. But 140 laps in, time is still pretty much the only factor that might be a deterrent to Seth Well. Cautions could be that as well, as 140 laps into this event. Cautions are now becoming a bit more frequent, and we will see how much more frequent they can get as the Seth Well machine holds on there in 9th. He's the fastest man on the newest tires. We might just have a chance to go for the victory as we go on. Maybe it's his, maybe it won't be. The National Guard number 88 machine holds on strong, guarding his positions and putting himself on the offense when necessary. So he is certainly one of the guys to watch as the night goes on. Keep an eye out for Seth Well in the number 88 machine. Tom Wetmore getting right there in the first spot, 60 laps to go here in Richmond in his own right. The number 51 machine has put himself in a great spot for victory. Jacob Fife right there in second. Nicholas Ward going to be in third. And now Cody Smith is there in fourth. Chris Schetzler rounds out your top five. And up and down night for Schetzler. He started this night almost entirely one lap down, but as it stands, he looks to be in the top five for the first time all night long, gaining more and more time and more of a position on these guys up in front. The leaders might have a new man to work with as the night goes on. The Yoo-Hoo number 24 machine saying Yoo-Hoo to the leaders. Now he could be in the rear view for the remainder of the race to come. And it's going to be less than 60 this time by, making 59 laps to go with a few yellows in a row. Give us a few shorter runs than we'd like to have. Of course, it remains to be seen whether or not we'll get back to the longer green flag runs. Time is still of the essence here, and as it stands, the number 51 machine has time in his back pocket right now. The more time under yellow might be the better time for him as he keeps himself there in first. Jacob Fife is there in second. Nicholas Ward going to be in third. Cody Smith is there in fourth, and Chris Schetzler rounds out the top five with Nick Tarbug in sixth, and then Stan Carlson in seventh. It's going to be Ryan Farrell eighth, Seth Well in ninth, and finally Joe Yakes in 10th, as it looks like Cody Griffin and Alan Dobbs, two men on new tires, are right now 11th and 12th, gaining more and more time as we speak here. So with 59 more to do with the Alan Dobbs machine in that 05 is now having a bit more of a problem to behold on his end. The drivers he came up with are coming back once again, and competition will become even more fierce. But as it stands, Tom Wetmore, your leading man with 58 to do it, will go one lap to green once again, and Tom Wetmore holds on strong out in front. 58 laps more here from Richmond, and it's been the action track all night long. A lot of action up and down throughout the field, but strategy out in front has been second to none for one man in this second half. Tom Wetmore, your race leader, gets it done on a bit of an undercut, and the undercut worked last night in the Nürburgring. Will it work tonight? That remains to be seen. It could happen in his favor. It all comes down to these final 57 laps on the green. Let's get right back to it once again. Going to be Wetmore there with Jacob Fife. Nicholas Ward going to be in third, and Cody Smith's going to be fourth. Green flags out, led by Tom Wetmore. Yellow flags out once again. Big wreck in the back of the field, it appears, and it looks like it's going to be in the back of the back. Bobby Ross right there. Stan Carlson going to be spun around. Let's find out just what happened. And another brief yellow after a brief yellow. This race getting longer at the looks of it. Stan Carlson gets turned around with Nick Tarbug there. Joe Yakes in the mix as well. And a good majority of the field gets right by him. Alan Dobbs there, spins it down to the inside line. And then Jay Haishman goes up high. And what a wreck that was. One of the biggest ones we've seen all night long. And now the yellow flags are coming in full force. 145 laps in. This one's getting a bit longer, so strap up, get into your seats, and put on your seatbelts. This one might go a bit longer than we anticipated. Wetmore is still your leader with 56 laps to go. And checking a rear view on his field, it's going to be Jacob Fife in second, Nicholas Ward there in third, and Cody Smith in fourth. And these guys have been locked in for quite a few laps now. Yellow flag laps, you never want to see it as a racer. And right now, these guys are stuck in these yellow flag laps time after time. It appears it's going to go to them. And it looks like down the line, this race has become a bit more intense when it comes to the overall aggression level. And we will see whether or not these guys back it down just a bit as a very early yellow brings it out back and forth. How about it once again? And out in front, it's going to be Tom Wetmore there in first, Jacob Fife in position number 2, and then it's going to be Nicholas Ward in third, Chris Schetzler in the fourth spot, and then it looks like Cody Smith in fourth for now as Chris Schetzler gets past one spot, and Schetzler in fifth with Nick Tarbug there in sixth, and spots did get reset. Some guys actually got their spots back from that wreck. You saw Tarbug did almost go around that time by, but now he's back in good standings, and he might be able to put something together that we did not expect out of him all night long. Look at them go. Tarbug getting there in sixth. Chris Schetzler going to be in fifth. Cody Smith is going to be in fourth. Nicholas Ward going to be in fourth. And we should have about one more lap before we get back to green. And lap 147 out of 200. The yellow flag laps hitting us back and forth. And it has been one hell of a fight all night long out in front, but right now it has been a bit of a dormant fight as Tom Wetmore just has to get a good launch on the restart to hold his head high and keep himself out in the lead. And the yellow flags have unfortunately kept this one a bit long, and I'm going to miss Antique Tyrone show. I'll tell you what, we don't want to hear that, Boba Fett. We'll see if these guys comment down per your request, as it's going to be one lap to green this time by maybe not. Going to be a bit of an extension once again. So still Wetmore out in front. Let's talk about some guys in the middle of the pack right now. How about Colin Gidman? He's in the middle of the pack, actually a bit further back in the pack. And Gidman, 21st on the board, blinking just a bit. He's your newest man on the lead lap. The lucky dog appears to be his at the moment. And the 04 machine backing it down to give yet another spot to another driver. And the 04 machine on the lead lap had a great start of the race in the top 10, top 15. But now with 53 laps to go, looks to be in a bit of trouble when it comes to battling with the leaders, but still a lead lap finish could be for the taking for him, as it looks like one lap to green this time by is inevitable, and it will be 52 laps to go to get this one done. Tom Wetmore going to be in first, Jacob Fife there in second, Nicholas Ward going to be in third, Cody Smith is in fourth, and Chris Schetzer going to be right there in position number 5. Nick Tarbuck going to go up high that time by. Here we go again. It should be smooth sailing from here on out. These guys back it down. If they don't, expect to go on the yellow once again. Could happen. It could not. It's all up to whether or not these guys play nicer, if they get a bit feistier. Now, let's see if it is all up to them or if it's all up to, well, someone else in front or in the back of the field. It's all for the taking here for Tom Wetmore, and it's all for the making of Seth Well. The new tire man is now in 7th. Let's get right back into it once again. Here we go. It's going to be 51 laps to go this time by. Wetmore leads him down. And that time by, we get past 1/2 lap clean. Nice to see it. And it's going to be Cody Griffin there with Cody Smith side by side. The Cody's are with Nick Tarbuck in tow. Chris Schetzer going to be side by side with Seth Well. Nicholas Ward going to be right there in the 3rd spot. And Jacob Fife going to be there in position number 2. And one driver going to drop like a rock on timing and scoring. That's Nicholas Ward. This is bad news. He's been down for about 10-15 laps. Is Nicholas Ward out of hardware failure as well? I'm thinking he might be. The 97 machine disappeared from our screens just like that, and Nicholas Ward has not reconnected in 15 seconds. This is bad news. Nicholas Ward from the top 5 in this event. Shades of Sam Nito has disconnected from the session, and now it's going to be yet another changed battle. Tom Wetmore leads Jacob Fife with Seth Well right there in 3rd, and Well gains more and more time. How about that? The battle has changed, and another retiree due to a hardware malfunction. 48 laps to do it, and now we are back in good spirits for some drivers, not for others right now. Mott John has fallen down just a bit, loses the car's control just a very slight bit there, but he's still going to be able to keep it going nice and smooth. Nice recovery for Mott there. That's going to be Stephen Wetton side by side for a moment there with Bobby Ross. He goes down to the inside line once again on Ross, but now Bobby has a run on Alan Rawell, and side by side the 43 goes with the 44 machine. Alan Rawell going to be right there in the mix. That's right on board with the number 44 machine of Bobby Ross. Let's see what it is battling in the mid-pack. And with major pressure from Stephen Wetton there, the man in that number 44 machine, Bobby Ross, has held on nice and smooth. A great showcase of skill for the 44 machine, going up high, using that inoptimal line to his advantage. It looks like very few drivers able to do that with the same ability and utility of Bobby Ross's middle groove. And while the inside line has developed the absolute best, the number 44 machine has put them all to a test, and he's using a much different line for some success. Tom Wetmore now has Jacob Fife right on his back bumper here, and Seth Well is kicking as hard as he can as well. 3 cars, 1 position, 46 becomes 45 laps to go now, and Seth Well getting closer and closer time after time. Right on board with him here, and let's see what he's going on with. And down the back, Seth Well going to be able to go with Jacob Fife. You can see Tom Wetmore right there as well, and this is when the exits become more crucial than the entries. Great lunges in for Jacob Fife and Tom Wetmore. Nice, effective. They do the job and then some. But those exits for Sam Nito worked the same way Seth Well got him working, and it looks like Well they would learn from every driver from him. Sam Nito one of which, and now Jacob Fife one of which, as he goes up high. Seth Noel going to be able to do so. Jacob Fife right there with Tom Wetmore. And it's going to be a bit of a slip up for Jacob Fife that time by Wetmore. Gets a bit of an advantage as a result. But now, going up high once more, Seth Noel tries to make it happen. Take a look on board with the man at number 51 machine. As a side-by-side battle is music to his ears. And now, the number 88 machine is right there with Jacob Fife. Fife holds on and the caution flags out with 43 laps to go. And let's find out why Big Wreck Joe Yates going to be involved. And with Yates right there, let's find out what caused it. Yates goes down to the inside line. He looks to be squirrely as is. And he's right there with Alan Dobbs. Maybe an incident right from Ryan Farrell overcorrects into Guillermo Alvarez. Gets into Joe Yates. A big spin as a result. And the 87 machine, Ward Lemaine caught up in that one. And you can see that's going to be a huge hit on the number 87 machine. Big crumble up on the front end, but we keep it going. 42 laps to go live on FTN here. And it looks like once again, under yellow, a big incident, and 42 laps to do it. 159 laps in, attitude 100. Wetmore spins on pit road! Your leader spins on pit road, and it's going to be a big block up. Tom Wetmore on pit road goes down around, and this changes everything. I can't believe it. Jacob Fife, Cody Smith makes it by, but Wetmore gets it reversed, and now he's in big trouble. Your leader spins up pit road, and now he has to get it going once again. Tom Wetmore from hero to zero there, and now he's going to be in big trouble. Alan Dobbs going to be in that 05 machine. Colin Gimman there as well, and now this is going to change everything up. Let's find out who comes out of pit road first. Alan Dobbs still there. Cody Smith is as well. Who gets it done first? We will see. Coming off pit exit, it's going to be Jacob Fife over Cody Smith. Then Nick Tarbuck. Chris Schetzler there as well. And it looks like Alan Dobbs makes it by. So does Kyle Cooper. Then Tom Wetmore. And he spun on pit road. But thankfully for his sake, he takes a new set of tires. So I'm not sure how major that one's going to be. Let's check it back about a minute or so. That one is unbelievable. Let's take it to a closer drone shot here on that number 51. How about that? Got caught on the apron. That's exactly what happened. Jacob Fife got into him. Bit of a side tap there. But the 51 got caught on the apron on pit road. And Wetmore immediately, quick thinking here to get him in reverse. So he doesn't lose all too much time as a result. And he does get it going quite nicely. So a bit of ingenuity after the incident. And Wetmore only loses about 5-6 spots at the very most on that. That could have been much, much worse. Quick thinking gets him back going once again. Detrimental? Yes, but not game over. According to Tom Wetmore, he plays by his own rules on that one, and he gets it going. Underway once again. Seth Well, your leader. Cody Griffin there in second. Ross Cato is in third, and now Seth Well is on the back foot when it comes to tire strategy once again. And your new drivers on pit road, led out by Jacob Fife in 10th. Then it's going to be Cody Smith, Nick Tarbuck, Chris Schetzler, Alan Dobbs, Kevin Matz, then Kyle Cooper, and then Tom Wetmore. So Wetmore 7th off of pit road, coming in first, does not lose all too much time given what happened. And looking at his front end, we'll get a closer shot once again. I don't believe there's that much damage, if any. So the Tube Tech machinery looks to be good to go here. Might be good enough to keep it going as he passes 1-2 drivers there. He'll be in 16th, as a matter of fact, to get this one going. So about 3 rows behind Jacob Fife. But how about that? Tom Wetmore spinning on pit road. And we were going to cut away to a non-stop advertisement break there, but I'm thankful we didn't. How about that for the man of the 51 machine from the lead as Seth Well holds on out in front. And pit road gets that much more exciting. How about pit road tonight? A big center for all the strategy, and this time the action's gonna be there, as we haven't had all too many green flag laps out of recent, unfortunately. But Seth Well now knows what he has to do. He just has to capitalize on this. His biggest adversary all race long has had a major incident, and Nancy Wetmore absolutely not happy with that one. How about that? And how do you ever? Quite frankly, I don't think I've ever. How about it once again? Unforeseen, and pit road, the site of what could be the most important incident all night long, as Seth Well takes the green with Cody Griffin, this time by Ross Cato, going to be there with Carson Bechtel. Let's get right back at it once again. Green flag's going to fall for Seth Well and Cody Griffin. Green flag's out, rocket launch from Seth Well. And 37 laps to go here for the man out in front. The man in position number 1. Now it's Cody Griffin chasing him big time. And Griffin not out front all night long, but now trying to put a fight up to him as Cody Griffin keeps it right in tow. Seth Well, in fact, gains just a bit on that opening lap. Will it be enough? That remains to be seen as it looks like Trevor Trago right there with Brad Patton. The men on new tires caught up just a bit. Cheslin right there. Cody Smith in the mix as well. Tom Wentworth right there with Nick Tarbuck. Guillermo Alvarez falls back just a bit. As a matter of fact, now it's going to be full wide. And it's Chesler there with Wentworth, there with Tarbuck, there with Rollo, there with everyone. And who isn't in this battle, I'm not sure. As it looks like now Tarbuck gets into 13th, Wentworth gets into 12th. Gaining more and more time. A man on the mission at 51 with 35 laps to do it. A next level drive. And it looks like, you know what that means, as with 35 laps to go, you go to your one and only remaining Next Level Racing promotional break. And we will be right back one more time to do it as we go into yellow once again. Matt Jonas going to be down around this time by, and we'll go to our Next Level Racing commercial break in just a moment. But how about it? Pit row in reverse, Nancy. I tell you what a move that was. It keeps it going, and the saving grace for Wetmore and the guys on new tires. As Jonas right there with Guy Petra, and it looks like another back-of-the-pack incident this time by Jonas right there, and you can see fighting side by side, a bit more exposition than we would usually give. This one gonna change it again. The landscape shifts big, and Matt Jonas that time by goes around off exit. That he does, gets squirrely, gets right into the 97 machine. Nicholas Ward, as is 10 laps down, gets back on the track. But that's your wreck once again. And 34 laps to do it this time by. We'll first check for a pit cycle. Looks like Seth Wallace stays out on the track that time by. We don't expect one. With that being said, 33 laps to go. We'll go to your Next Level Racing advertisement break one more time. Next Level Racing, high-quality sim racing performance product since 2009. The best place to go for all your sim racing needs. Be sure to visit nextlevelracing.com for more information, and we will be right back one final time live on FDN. This is the 7th round of the Integrity Octane Series season here in Richmond. And that will be your final Next Level Racing promotional break of the night. Once again, Next Level Racing, high quality sim racing performance products at an affordable cost for anyone. Next Level Racing, a proud partner of the Integrity Racing League, and this season collaborating with the Integrity Racing League to bring together a prize that any driver would want. The winner of the championship in the Integrity Octane and Ignite Series will win a sim racing cockpit worth $2,000 in value. So a great prize for any driver right now. Seth Well, one of the favorites early on to perhaps get that prize for his own, and we will see whether or not he's able to hold on all the way, because right now he's had these guys in check, and now once again it appears that the drivers out in front have put themselves on the back foot. They have a 38 tire set going right now. It's been a 38 stint for Seth Well. Cody Griffin on the same boat. Brad Patton has been on this stint for 24 laps. But guys such as Cody Smith, Jacob Fife, Schessler, Alvarez. Actually, Alvarez is on a 38 lap stint, but Tom Wetmore there as well. There are drivers now in that top 15 bunch that are on a newer set of Goodyear Eagles. And those Eagles might be ready to soar one more time. Here we go again, led by the man in that number 51 for the battle for the 12th spot. But overall, the 88 machine of Seth Well having a next level drive. As we get into it one more, it will be less than 30 laps of green flag racing to go. When we get this one settled, it's been a bit longer than we anticipated. Yellow flags have been the theme of this second stage, and hopefully that does not persist, as it will be 30 laps to go this time by 29 we go back under green. And Seth Well has had one incredible race for any driver, let alone a driver of his caliber, winning last time we went at it, of course, at the Circuit of the Americas. But right now, it appears that he has something going at a short track, which is undeniably something you don't often see. Back-to-back from a road course and a short track very infrequently. The drivers turnover performance time after time. that easily, but right now it appears it could be Seth Wells' ballpark here in Richmond, and here we go again. Seth Wells leads them with 29 laps to do it. And down the back, they're 3 wide now at the moment. It's going to be a big fight between Jacob Fife, Trevor Trago, and Colin Gidman. Gidman as high as he's been all night long. Tom Wetmore in the battle as well. Right up over Tom Wetmore for just a moment. And you can see how intense this battle is. Trago bangs doors with Jacob Fife. And now Wetmore takes it 3 abreast. Down the inside line, he makes it stick, but not for long. He has Jacob Fife right in front of him. These two might be able to cut through the field just like that. They make contact, they shake it off, and they keep going. Colin Gidman now going to be up on the high side. They're 3 wide. Gidman there with Fife. Wetmore went just have the edge, and he's been driving like a madman ever since that incident, and he's trying to make every position back just like that. He's fighting now with Jacob Fife to be the top man on the board with new tires. Fife has that honor for now, but it is all not confirmed for the finish, as it's going to be side by side between himself and Wetmore. The number 36 gets it done for now. Trevor Trago is in that battle, and the sun is almost setting here. That's how long this race has gone in Richmond. Undeniable that now Brad Patton is up in 4th and gaining more and more time, and those right in front of him. Cody Griffin right there in the 2nd spot. Ross Cato going to be there in 3rd, and Sam Nito falling back off, of course, on disconnection. The only other man to be disconnected all night long, and Nicholas Ward now only 6 laps down, and you are allowed to gain as many laps as you can back due to an internet disconnection or a hardware failure. So thankfully, the failure in hardware has not deterred Ward from coming back to the racing circuit. That's what you'll love to see here in the Integrity Octane Series drivers with grit doing sim racing right since 2012, and Seth Wells right now doing it all right out in front with 25 laps to do it, and rounding the final corners once again to make it 24 laps to do it. Cody Griffin there in 2nd, and the battle rages on between Fife, Patton, and Wetmore side by side. They are once again, and these guys have been leaving almost no room all night long, and surprisingly, the guys up front have been the ones least prone to an incident. So these guys have something figured out better than just about anyone else. Keep an eye out for every one of these guys. Has come down the back once again. Seth Wells makes it 23 to go, and he now has 1 second up of the remainder of the field strategy. Played it perfect. If a caution comes out, he might be at a bit of a Jeopardy type situation, but right now the risk is low as 23 becomes 22 next time, guy, and you know what that means. TrackCams22.com, the best cameras on the iRacing platform. TrackCams Performance. Visit their link in the description as we crank it up with the best cameras on the iRacing platform. We will be right back uninterrupted on FTN. That's Crank It Up with 22 laps to go, brought to you by TrackCams22.com. And the yellow flag is out. And we are going to go under the yellow once again. Caution is going to alleviate the Crank It Up from being used then. And their big wreck, Joe Yates, going to be involved. And it looks like a multitude of other drivers there as well. Let's find out just what happened here as we send the clock back. 20 seconds, going to be almost a parking lot. Dobbs gets the Starbucks. Yates gets there as well. It looks like Alec Dobbs, of course, Guillermo Alvarez. And this one gets just about everyone. So the Crank It Up going to be moved back to next time we go at it. And with 21 now, 20 to do it. Now we have to wait once again to get back under green. And now the 88 machine has to wait under yellow once again. That's going to make it that much easier for him to plot his next move. The number 88 of Seth Wells, your leading man almost all race long. Very few drivers have been up with him in terms of contending for the victory. And so far, this consistency has been key to a victorious run. Of course, if he's able to finish this one off, he's getting closer and closer to making this one a sealed deal. But of course, it is not over just yet. Jacob Fife is in 2nd, and now Tom Wetmore is in 3rd, and he's had an up and down night, that's for certain. He's led this race at some points, has clawed through the field to get up here, and he spun down pit road, got it in reverse literally, and kept going just like that. He's right behind Fife, and he will not be denied. Tonight might just be his once again, but he'll have to go through the dominator of this event. Seth Wells has yet to be passed by anyone during this green flag run for very, very long. Made a few laps back and forth, but Noel has been on it all night long. Very few drivers on his level tonight. And for the remainder of the night, it might be that way. We might just shift up. The tires are everything here. And the front of the pack, the cleanest of the remainder of the field. 18 laps to do it. He should be going back green at about 16 laps to go. So will be a bit of a brief crank it up just to get it over with and get us going once again uninterrupted. This race has been extended just slightly by all the yellows we've had, but only 18 laps to go. We've gotten through 183 laps, as is the final stretch is upon us here. And Seth Well leads over Jacob Fife and Tom Wetmore. And with Seth Well out in front, the 88 machine has been on his tire run for 51 laps. Now, one man that hasn't been is the man right behind him, Jacob Fife in second. He's on a 23-lap-old stint, so just about half the time he spent on his run compared to the Seth Well machines, and that could be a major advantage. Half the age on the Goodyear tire and rubber wears out quick in the short track. You need to turn in deep, especially at Richmond. And with that being said, they go double file this time by. Looks like one driver goes up high. That'll be Nicholas Ward getting more laps back to his internet disconnection and his internet failure. And it looks like with 3 laps down, he should be able to go 2 next time by as he gains more and more time on the high side. Thankfully, an exception for his case because he only lost laps due to, of course, a hardware malfunction. And now it looks like things going right on his end, hardware-wise and driver-wise, as he was still one of the fastest guys all night long, even though now the strategy has been put to rest, and it will be a very slim shot for him to come back in the winning contention. He's had a great night regardless. Getting back on the circuit once again, you love to see it. The attrition is there, and we'll have a brief crank it up to get this restart going, as it's now 1 lap to green. This time by, make it 15 to go when we go on to green one last time. Perhaps it could be. The yellow flag could fall at any point in between this point and the checkered flag, though. So it is not a given just yet where we go from here on out. It could be victory lane for one. It could be a yellow flag and the wrecker for others. It is all up to a driver like Seth Well as he rounds the back once again. Half a lap to go before we get back on the green. And the 88 machine right there with the number 36. They're going to be first and second. Tom Wetmore there in third. Chris Schetzler is in fourth. And here we go again. The iRacing official pace car going to dive in one more time. Perhaps it is the final that we will see. Let's get right back into it. A rocket start from Seth Well once again. Green flag's out. Let's crank it up briefly one more time. Yellow flags out, singles car spin, Luis Caballero, and it looks like our crank it up attempts for tonight are over. We've maxed that out at 2. Quite frankly, another incident there. Caballero single car spin, that causes our yellow, and you saw it on your screen that time by, but we'll take a look at it again. And Caballero just gets it squirrely off the back, and that brings out the yellow once more. Take a look on board with the man at number 91 machines. Luis Caballero absolutely having a bit of trouble holding on to that one. Let's find out just why it was. And down to the inside line, Caballero gets it done at third gear, pushing as hard as he can, and then just puts the throttle on just a bit and backs it down a little way, gets back on the back straightaway, and that will be a yellow flag once again. Single car intended, Luis Caballero. And now with 13 laps to go, it's anyone's guess as to how this race will finish out. Under green, under yellow, remains to be seen for any driver, as with 13 laps to do it, don't know how it will go, and now it'll be a dozen next time we get to that start finish line. And with this time, we'll go to a Fireball Talks nonstop to thank all of our associates who bring to you these broadcasts night after night, race after race. Got to thank you all for watching once again. We'll be right back. You won't miss a thing live on FTN, and we will return shortly as we have brief messages from all our associates who bring these broadcasts to you live whenever. Of course, we're live on FTN. Thank you all for your support tonight. We will be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
Your Fireball Talks non-stop break for tonight. Once again, gotta thank every viewer for your support on this one. 10 laps to go this time by, and we are back underway. It's gonna be Seth Well out in front with Tom Wetmore making a big dive up high, Jacob Fife down low, and here we go again. Stealing the show, the 51 does 9 laps to do it, and it's gonna be single-digit racing, as it's gonna be all about the aggression out in front. Wetmore down to the inside line. Seth Well, your dominator, is having none of it. He goes up high, tries to get that run on the high side. The top line works that time through, and Wetmore now has a force to reckon with in Jacob Fife. Fife right down there to the inside line. They make it 3 wide for the lead. Fife goes high. He gets the brake slops up, and now the 51 of Tom Wetmore leads the way from Richmond. Seth Well out in front. You can see that number 8 machine is still right there. It's going to be Seth Well in second, Tom Wetmore first. Jacob Fife holds on in third now, and the top 3 are beginning to pull away once again. Make that 7 laps to go, and it's going to be a yellow flag once again. And here we go again. Stan Carlton involved in this one. And Carlton has one lock up there. Tarbuck is right with him. Kevin Matz might have gotten him that time by. We'll find out. As look at Trevor Trago goes around, then gets to Stan Carlton, then Kevin Matz goes right up, and that will bring out a yellow once more. Now we have not had a retiree since, of course, the 71 lap to go mark from here on out. And of course, lap 21 or so when Chad Dillon retired, but now it looks like a few drivers with crucial damage as Tom Wetmore leads them through once again. 195 laps out of 200, and we are getting dangerously close to green-white checkered territory here. Watch out. This race could end in a much different way than we anticipated here. Getting oh so close to the finale of this night. And it's coming in a much different way than what we anticipated indeed. The number 51 machine out in front with 6 laps to go. And then it's going to be Seth Well in second. Jacob Fife there in third. Ryan Farrell in fourth. And Seth Well with one final shot to put it down on the man in that number 51. And for all the domination that Seth Well has put together, it appears right now no other driver has had the pace as late as this run has gone compared to Tom Wetmore. A long run guy, a late run guy, always makes it happen at the tail end, and tonight is no different. Tom Wetmore out in front, as it's going to be him in first, Seth Well there in second, Jacob Fife in third, and then from there on out, it's going to be Ryan Farrell fourth, Chris Schetzler in fifth, and Cody Smith there in position number 6. And now going to become 4 laps to go. I expect a natural green-white checkered. And for those who don't understand that terminology, it's pretty new in its own right. So natural green-white checkers are green, white, checkers without being induced artificially by a sanctioning body such as NASCAR. Now that means 1 green flag lap in its own, 2 laps to go. If we have a yellow flag, we could extend the race once again, and then that could lead us to the white flag lap. The white flag lap, no matter how it ends, yellow flag or the checkered flag, the race is over no matter what, and that would be it. Of course, when we hit that checkered flag, it's all over, and no, the driver's another shot to make it happen. That is done and done, and 197 in, out of 200. We're almost there to that done and done category for the man in the 51, Tom Wetmore, out in front and backwards on pit road. 30 laps to go here to steal the show. Tom Wetmore, undeniable. This is a comeback night for him, and it could be one of the most interesting ones we've seen here on iRacing, let alone on this channel. Spinning on pit road, potentially getting the victory. It could fall in his favor tonight as we will go 1 lap to green next time by. Now, with that being said, I'm not sure what this means for us. It could be a 1-lap dash. It could be a white flag only, indeed. It could be ending under yellow. With that being said, it could be green, white, checkered. As it stands, the lap counter has not been extended here. 198 laps in out of 200 here on my end, so you'll know as soon as I know. Quite frankly, iRacing extends them at the very last second if there is any extension, and it could be an above-advertised race when it comes to all the laps that we get in. 3 laps to go as it stands. Seth well good over there in the 88 machine. Jacob Fife is in third. And coming out of line this time by, this determines everything. Let's find out what's going on. It will be a 1-lap extension. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1. Here we go. And it will be an artificially induced green, white, checkered by 1 single lap. Oh, so close to a natural green, white, checkered. 1 lap off of my estimation. Now, let's get right to it. Wetmore first. Seth well there in second. It's going to be Jacob Fife third, Ryan Farrell in fourth, and Chris Scheffler in the top 5. Here we go again as the number 51 holds on in first. Will he be able to hold on to the tail end? We will find out as the iRacing official pace car takes a hard left one more time. Make it 2 laps to go here in Richmond. America's premier short track, proving its worth this time by. They're all barrel down once again. Wetmore leads him with 2 laps to go. A rocket ship launch for the 51. And Wetmore right there out in front has a major gap in front of Jacob Fife that time by. 2 laps to go this time by. They're all going to come down through the backstretch. No issue that time through. And it's going to be a big wreck. Alan Dobbs involved. The yellow flag is due to be out, and that it is. Is this it? I'm not sure. And it looks like it might not be. As Alan Dobbs goes around, we will have another extended green, white, checker. And let's find out what happened. Alan Dobbs involved in this one, that's for sure. You can see Dobbs collected by that point. So let's take a look one more time and find out what caused this wreck. And down to the inside, Alan Dobbs goes on Chris Scheffler there. And they make it about 4 wide for him. Then Dobbs goes right back up the track for just a moment. And side by side they were, and Dobbs just gets collected in the heat of it. Kyle Cooper there, Joe Yakes. And Dobbs gets the worst of it, that's for certain. Gets it back going. A few drivers swash up once again. And under yellow, we are indeed. Tom Wetmore out in front with 3 laps to go. Going to be Jacob Fife in second. Seth well in third. It will be a major extension of the race once again. Now, this means we should have 3 green, white, checkered attempts to get this one done. And we have just used up our first, so the race extended once more. We will have to wait once again to get this one done. And right now, it's Tom Wetmore, Jacob Fife, and Seth well out in front. And the yellow flags have changed everything when it comes to strategy. And it is showing once again that these yellows are the world for some drivers and a world crusher for others. Tom Wetmore going to be there in first indeed. 3 laps to go. It's going to be 203 laps in. Make it 204 this time by. It appears that will in fact be the case next around. As right now these leaders are taking it 1 lap at a time under yellow. It looks like as it stands, John Steele going to be there in the 30th spot. No driver has retired for the past 79 laps here. So even though a lot of guys have been involved in major incidents, they are still going. And one man who's gone very well, Nicholas Ward, who disconnected due to a hardware malfunction, is on the lead lap in 24th now. He could recover a few more positions if the night gets a bit more intense. Let's see where he's able to do so. Is now the 97 there. Last man on the lead lap. Never give up for Nicholas Ward. He's now right there behind Stephen Wetton for 23rd. And Wetton and the last man on the lead lap for quite a while. And Tom Wetmore been the first for quite some time in his own right. Going to make it 2 laps to green under pacing once again. I do believe we should go 1 to green next time by and should go green the time after the fact. Jacob Fife going to be there in second. Seth Well going to be in third. And then Ryan Farrell will be in position number 4. It's going to be a great showcase if these guys get it done right now. Double file they are, but no short and yellow. We will go when we go. And it looks like we'll go in about a lap and a half's time. It's going to be Tom Wetmore there in first. Jacob Fife in second. And then the man in third going to be Seth Well once again. Stay tuned. This race is far from over. The action, it has been packed. And let's do it once again. And side by side, the 51 is with the 36. It's going to be Seth Well in third. Then Ryan Farrell there in fourth. It's going to be Cody Smith in fifth now for the Next Level Racing camp. And that NLR team putting a next level drive in their own right. It could be a next level finish for them. The victory might just be in sight with 1 lap to green here. The 51 holds on out in front. It's going to be Jacob Fife there in second. Seth Well is in third. Ryan Farrell is going to be in fourth. And Chris Schetzer is now in your top 5 with Cody Smith in sixth. So this will be it. Inside, outside, pick and choose. The 51 does not want to sit and lose, and he might be able to get it done this time by the final restart. It could be once again. Here we go. A rocket launch, not as big, but Wetmore back at the front with 2 laps to go. And Wetmore rockets right up to the high side there. Jacob Fife going to be in that second spot. Seth Well going to be in third. Ryan Farrell going to be in fourth. And now the 51 machine gets it done at the back once again. No wreck in the middle of the pack that time by. They all keep it straight, just barely. They're oh so close, but no contact that time by. And as they come down to the white flag, this time around, no yellow flag. 1 lap to go for Tom Wetmore and Jacob Fife. Fife might have a shot once again. Does he go down to the inside line nice and smooth? He hits that apex. Does not get there close enough to Wetmore. 1 final try this time by. Wetmore has that edge. Jacob Fife might be able to lunge it in. That he does. Sends it deep. Sends it hard. But for the man who spun on pit road 35 laps ago, he put it in a reverse set, put it in a new mindset. Tom Wetmore wins round number 7 from Richmond. And it was far from actionless. He put this one in with a spectacle to show for it and a spectacular effort to win from a spin in pit road. And there he goes, spinning once again. And in reverse. And what a moment of serendipity. In the same orientation as he was on pit road in his most important pit stop, he gets spun back again. And it's like bumper cars all over. As almost a recreation of that pit road moment, Tom Wetmore back on the way. And he stole the show. And I'm certain to steal the hearts of the viewers on this one. What a finish for the man of the 51. And as Tom Wetmore pulls up to go to his burnout segment on the start-finish line, let's get your race results. First up, it's going to be the man out in front in that 51. First position by a wide margin. Tom Wetmore wins from 20th on the grid. Then Jacob Fife there in second. Seth Well in third. Your pole sitter with Ryan Farrell there in fourth. Chris Schetzer going to be in fifth. Cody Smith sixth. Guillermo Alvarez in seventh. 1 second down. Brad Patton, Joe Hicks, and Nick Tarbuck rounding at your top 10. From there on out, it's going to be Cody Griffin in 11th, Colin Gibbon in 12th, Carson Bechtel going to be in 13th, Alan Dobbs 14th, Bobby Ross going to be in position number 15, with Trevor Trago 16th, Alan Rawa 17th, Kevin Matz in position number 18th, and Boomer Logan there in position number 19. Jay Hayes going to be there in position number 20. What a way to win it for the man in that number 51. The top 20 within 3 seconds of him. Kyle Cooper there in position number 21, Matt Jonas 22nd, Stan Carlson there in 23rd, Nicholas Ward in 24th, and then it would be Randy Fias 25th on the board in number 25 machine, 2 down with Guy Peacher 26th, Stephen Wetton 27th, Luis Caballero in 28th, and John Steele 29th with Ross Cato rounding out your top 30, Chad Dillon, James Ross, and Sam Nito The retirees for this one, and time to burn it down for Tom Wetmore. How about that? Stealing the show, the number 51 does. And what a way to win it. Strategy, despite all the incidents along the way, it was perfect for the 51. And as Wetmore celebrates with your interview systems just right in place, give us just a moment to do that. We'll see the intermission segment on your screen for just a moment. We will be back momentarily as we get this thing going. Tom Wetmore gets it done from Richmond, and he's still burning it down as we speak. How about that? Stay tuned for interviews in just a moment. And as it stands, Tom Wetmore parked it on the front stretch, but a winner he will be remembered for this one. Backwards on pit road to victory lane. All those laps later, 208 laps overall, and he comes home position number 1. What a way to win it for Tom Wetmore, and he will remember this one for quite some time. Indeed, a momentous victory, and what a way to win it. And I don't think we can say any more than that. It was a surprise to be sure, but after all of the trials and all the tribulations, Tom Wetmore, you come home on top of the board here in Richmond. What a way to win it. And I've said it about 1,000 times already. How do you feel after this one?
Man, I got to tell you, it's bittersweet. Definitely some beating and banging to get to the front tonight, and a little bit of tire strategy. Got to give a shout out to the guys who share the podium with me tonight. Both Seth and Jacob drove a hell of a race. Seth led the first half and was lights out after we put on a pretty bad qualifying effort in this Tube Tech Chevy Camaro, but you know, we have Robin Steele, attorneys at law on the side, and we stole some positions, was able to get up to the front. But, man, the back half of the race, got to thank Jacob Fife Racing with a ton of respect. Pro Powder and Paint based out of Virginia. I knew he wanted this thing as bad as anybody. And put him in one or two compromising positions, which I was concerned there with the green-white checker that I probably deserved to get sent there. But he raced clean, and that's just a staple of the racing here at Integrity, because it's in the motto. It's in the name, right?
Absolutely, it is in the name. Now, one thing that isn't in the name is a pit road calamity, so to speak. And that calamity, one of the focal points of the strategy tonight, backwards on pit road and immediately getting it back, quick ticket to get it in reverse and immediately down on pit road. So how was it going through your mind there? Because I'm certain that all the viewers watching think that might be the most key point of tonight's event.
Yeah, I mean, I think we hit everything but the pace car while we were on pit road there. I thought for sure Fife was going to fake us out. He's been a king of strategy, and we pulled down last minute, de-wedged the car, and the car just hit the diffuser and smoked the inside pit wall. How we were able to get back to the front, only God can tell us, man.
And, well, regardless of what happened, you were able to get out in front once again. Now, how was it when it comes to strategy overall? Now, a lot of yellow flags in that second stage here, but still a lot of strategy coming down to the end. Do you think there's anything else you could have done differently in the first stage where Seth Welch just had it?
Yeah, I mean, 4 fresh Goodyear tires were key, and we were super lucky there in the first stage that we were able to conserve some tires, make our way through traffic, and kind of save our stuff, and was able to drive up to P2, which put us in position for the back half of the race there. But seeing that even though we'd conserved our stuff, Seth was just as fast as the end of the stage, I wasn't sure if this Tube Tech Camaro was going to be able to have enough to hold him off, but fortunately I think we got him on a little bit of tire strategy that gave us the upper hand at the end.
And the upper hand, you stuck with it and got it done in round number 7 here from Richmond. Now, Tom Wetmore, before we head off to our next event of the season, which will be, of course, round number 8. We'll check the schedule in just a moment here. Anything else you'd like to add and any final thoughts?
Yeah, just got to thank the people that always watch me as we come into Easter weekend. Definitely wouldn't be able to do this without both my mom and my dad watching. Mom Nancy normally in the chat cheering me on, and super lucky to have her around and have her cheer me on. So glad we could park this one in Victory Lane for her, do a little Kyle Larson-esque burnout around the track there for her, and God, man, feels good to be in Victory Lane. We're in the playoffs, man.
And in the playoffs, indeed, Tom Wetmore gets back to Victory Lane in style, getting it done here from Richmond. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And there we have it. Tom Wetmore on his way, and the next man on the podium will be the man in that number 36 machine, Jacob Fife. And we can't pull him down. Give us just a moment. We'll try to get a word from him as it appears he's in a locked voice chat, which means an interview will not be available for him for just a moment. Give us just a second here as we try to sort things out. Jacob Fife should be in the waiting room, and it looks like that he is. Now, Fife will be good to go. The 36 machine, second tonight. What a race that was for you, able to claw your way through the field all night long and eventually come home runner-up. How you feel after this one?
I got a little mixed emotions with this one, man. I thought I had a chance to win. I kind of got put in some positions I wasn't really thrilled with and missed some opportunities that I could have taken advantage of. So obviously I'll take the second. It was a good run, good point staying, all that fun stuff. But this is technically my home track. I grew up 20 minutes away from Richmond most of my life. So wanted to get the win here. Sponsors from right up the road as well. So it'd have been a perfect night to grab the win here in Richmond, but just came one short, unfortunately.
And just one short. Now, a lot of strategy to put it into the books here. Now, the final pit stop, you got a major advantage there. What made it happen for you all night long? Because it seems like you were able to claw through the field and get right in front of Seth well. And then Tom Wetmore came to battle you at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the really long run we had at the beginning kind of gave us an idea of how the racing would be, and I kind of was hoping that would continue. We had a really good long run car tonight. Unfortunately, we kind of had a rash of cautions, so just picking and choosing when did you want to make your last pit stop. You didn't want to take it too late and be too far back in the field and having to try to make your way up. So I thought we made the right pit calls and pitted at the right times. It's just it really did have a mesh of, I think, 3 different strategies by the time we got to the end of it. You had Wetmore and I who had pitted together. You had Seth there who pitted before us, and then Ryan, who I think finished 4th or 5th, ended up pinning the latest out of the group there and was able to come back and finish 4th. So I think with a few more laps, he might have been able to beat us all for that matter. So definitely, I mean, the strategy was awesome in that sense, but just the amount of cautions at the end there just really wasn't. If I put my league owner / admin hat on, wasn't the most enjoyable, unfortunately. But like I said, the strategies though are what make the racing interesting, and kind of, Seth. If it wasn't for the cautions and stuff, I think Seth could have ran away with us pretty easily. He was pretty dominant the first half of the race.
And nonetheless, in spite of some dominance, able to come home in front of Seth well there and come home in second. Now, the next race on the season, round number 8, going to be at Chicagoland Speedway for 134 laps. How do you feel going into that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's usually a fun track. I kind of hope it's similar to some of what we saw in Richmond tonight. You could use both lanes to kind of either pass people or hold position on the high line. I'm kind of hoping Chicagoland's a mile-and-a-half version of that. Kind of get guys spread out, use different lanes, different runs, make for a really fun race. It's somewhere we don't go every year, and so hopefully it's a unique opportunity for us to have some fun racing and hopefully a little bit more green at the end than we had tonight.
And that's what we hope to see heading into the next race of the season next week. Jacob Fife gets it done this week, second on the board. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, as always, like to thank you guys for broadcasting with us. You do a great job. Thank all the members for participating and coming out for both nights, honestly, for the Ignite Series on Monday nights with the B-Car, and then our Octane Series on Tuesday nights. I do want to be remiss, as I mentioned before, Pro Powder and Paint sponsor for my car is right up the road, about 20 minutes from the Speedway in Ashland, Virginia. So I want to thank them for being on board and helping with the league, and also Next Level Racing. They just came out, I think the last time we talked, they just came out with a new product line in association with Ferrari for some of their sim seats and cockpit rigs. Definitely want to check that out. And we also have our affiliate code, which if you check out our Facebook or Discord channels, you can get affiliate code to help the league out. We get a percentage of that back to the league, and it help keep things running. So definitely thank you to Next Level Racing for all their help they do.
And a major shout out to our sponsors and a major shout out to Jacob Fife coming home here. It's the second spot on the board. It's Jacob Fife, position number 2 here from Richmond. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
And there we have it, Jacob Fife down and around. And the next man on the podium, the man who just about led the most laps all night long, Seth Well, a great run, but a few spots short on the victory. How do you feel after this one?
Disappointed.
Well, it certainly seems like at the tail end of it, it seemed to have fallen apart for the victory. So can you walk us through that final 50-odd lap segment?
Yeah, so once the caution started, we kind of turned into a little bit of a tire game on when we were going to take tires, and we didn't take tires at the right time, and it didn't work out.
Appears that was the case, but nonetheless, a very strong run. So what was the key to success all night long here in Richmond?
Really depends on which part of the race, because early on it was really about long run pace. We had gotten out to the big lead for the stage, and then the second half of the race, it really came down to holding track position, getting the right tires underneath you, and figuring out how to hold the lead.
And able to hold the lead quite well. Now almost going back-to-back from Austin to Richmond. Now next up on the schedule going to be Chicagoland for 134 laps. How do you feel going into the Chicagoland Speedway?
Feel good about that track. Hopefully the tire strategy is pretty simple next week. Hopefully not many yellows after we've had a couple tonight, and get a good finish again.
And that's what we hope to see. Seth Well, a good finish once more. Third on the board tonight. Now, any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
As we say every week, thanks to Chad for the paint. Great paint. It's on Trading Paints. Go check it out. Thanks to the Nexus boys, and appreciate the broadcast.
And there we have it, a great show to be appreciative of in his own right. Seth Well gets it to the third place on the board here in round 7 from Richmond. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
And there we have it, Seth Well on his way, and that would do it for a few days, as a matter of fact. It's going to be more than a day for the first time in quite a while on my end. We don't broadcast on a Wednesday, so Tuesday night ending off on River Page's end. He's going to end off the Highline Racing League broadcast, and we headed off here in the Integrity Octane Series. Now, when will we be back? We will be back with much more in store. Fiber optic internet coming to the FTN studios very soon, and we will be back next time for the Integrity Racing League on the Octane Series front. We will have a break for the Ignite Series, and then we'll return with Chicagoland very, very soon. We've got to thank y'all for watching. Nancy Wetmore, Frobo Fenn, and everyone who watched tonight. We hope to see you in the chat room. If you want to leave any message, we'd love to have you. It's always free, always available, as Tom Wetmore gets it done round 7 from Richmond. Thank you all for watching tonight. We hope you have a great night. This has been the Integrity Octane Series round 7 from Richmond, live on FTN. Once again, we thank you all for stopping by. We hope you have a great night.